This is Nic Douglass for Adventures of a Sailor Girl and the Newport Bermuda Race. We are live from out on the water for the start of the 51st edition. 112 years, 170 boats, 2 entries from Bermuda, and the first start up in not just too long will be the Cats, and this is the first year that we will see multi-hulls in the race. We're going to line ourselves up so that we can get a good view of the starting line for this action. We can't get too close. You can see here behind us already, Celeste's going to do a little bit of a pan. We've got plenty of spectator boats, and the New York Yacht Club and the Coast Guard are going to do a great job of marshalling these boats so that the competitors can get away with the best shot of having a clear racetrack. We were just on board the start boat, which will come into view in a minute. It's called White Hawk. Oh my gosh, it's absolutely beautiful, and it was lovely to talk to Claire Alexander on board there, Claire Harrington rather, and she is going to do a great job of starting these boats as they roll on. The first warning signal will be at 1300 hours. Then we will see rolling starts from a 10-minute sequence, 1310, 1320, etc. 17 divisions. Divisions 2 and 3 will start together, and the rest will all roll on from there. And basically, guys, the starting line is over here. Maybe we'll be able to see it through our amazing driver. Look at that. There's the starting boat. Ta-da! But the starting line is there, and there's Danielle Foster up in the helicopter as well. We'll have some great vision from him later on. Don't you worry about that. And then Bermuda, guys. Hey, Summers, you know where Bermuda is? It's about there?
Yeah, it's that way.
And this is probably a great time to introduce some of our co-commentators. This is Summers Kemp. He's a past Commodore of the Royal Bermuda Yacht Club. He's also on some other committee that I can't remember, and came in at the last minute to help out the Bermuda Race Organising Committee with a massive job helping with the registrations. So well done to not just you but all the volunteers, but well done, Summers, for getting all those boats registered.
Yeah, it's a massive team effort. It's great to be here in Newport. Hoping the breeze comes in just a little bit, gets everybody off safely. Yeah, 635 miles to go in that direction, and hopefully they'll get there next week.
Next week, exactly. That would be great. Then we get a bit of a rest.
Yeah, we definitely will. That's for sure. So
that is fantastic.
Yeah, it's good. It's good to be here. You know, it's a good spectator fleet. Castle Hill looks to be packed. Yeah. I was a little worried with the rain earlier, but it's cleared off, so I think it's going to be a good afternoon.
Yeah, I think so too. We've had a beautiful few days in Newport. Yesterday it was like summer in Australia. Everyone got sunburnt. Well, my crew did anyway. And it was quite entertaining. Sorry, Aaron. He's out off shooting somewhere, but he's a lobster. Anyway, moving right along. It was raining this morning, and everyone, no, it's raining. This is terrible. But the cool thing is that it's cleared up at just the right time. We've got a little bit of breeze building. We can all feel it. And the Cats are lining up and getting very excited. So that's awesome. And at this time, I think we're going to call in our second commentator. Dun, 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 dun. Look at this. The amazing commentary team here. This is John Burnham. John Burnham's been a hero this week. You're running you're co-chair of the media for the Bermuda Race Organising Committee, but John Winder, who's your other co-chair, he's actually sailing.
Yes, yeah, John has the slower ride to Bermuda. I'll be on a plane tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely. But you also came in and grabbed onto this role. Shout out to HL DeVore at this time. He had to drop out due to his very ill mother, so a shout out to HL if he's watching. But you really jumped into this role at the last minute. You've taken it by the horns, as we say. But well done to you in making sure that this race gets out to the world.
Well, thanks. It's a privilege to be involved with the race. I've been on the other side as a reporter, and now we're creating content for the website, trying to keep all the race fans up to date. And we've also got quite a few external press here covering the race as well, and we've been having to organize them a little bit. We've got several other boats out here with press flags and up in the air.
That would be Danielle, the master, Foster. I can't wait to see his photos and get them all to you on the Bermuda Race Facebook page, that's for sure, guys. And make sure you check out all of the other action. I mean, as John said, there's been articles everywhere. There's the weather update bulletins. There's so many videos. It's been just fantastic. And we're not far off a signal now, so we might get 2 minutes. Yeah, cool. So we might get you, Celeste, just to come over and check out this boat that we were on before, and we'll talk a little bit about the White Hawk, if you can get in there, gorgeous girl. Yeah. I wish you could see how pretty the girl is on the back of the camera. She's done a great job this week, as have done a lot of people behind the scenes. And this is the beautiful White Hawk, and you can see there are a bunch of amazing volunteers from the New York Yacht Club. On the bow, they've been marking off all of the competitors as they've come past and done their sail bys. And the first start, guys, as I mentioned, will be the multi-hulls. So that orange flag there that you can see is the starboard end of the committee boat. Yeah, and the yellow mark just to the port side of the bow of the boat there is the other end of the line. So this is the start line for the Newport Bermuda Race. And I guess at this time, I mean, Summers, how many races have you done yourself?
I think the count's at 10.
10?
Yeah, so.
Not too shabby.
Not shabby. I started when I was young, so that was good. Yeah, no, it's always, everyone's different. You know, it's a good time. I did it with a bunch of good mates of my dad for many years. So yeah, a lot of stories. And Jonathan, the chairman, Jonathan Bruin, was on the team. So I know Jonathan a long time, and we're good mates. So it's always good just to get in the way.
There we go. That is the first sequence. And the marshals are taking things a little bit seriously, but we're going to jump out of this area now, guys. But as you've seen now, we are into the first warning signal, and that is Division 1 for the multi-hulls. If you just peel this way, Celeste, you'll see one of those boats. I believe that is Arethusa, yeah. One of the multis. So the three multis in this division, we have Arethusa just here. Over to the right is Tribe, and we also have Elvis, which is the more grey boat over the bow of that rib. Gosh, that guy was totally keen to get us out of the box. We told him we'd stay in the box till the first sequence. Boom! Get out of the box! Alrighty, we're out. But as you can see, the first numeral pennant is flying. These boats won't be going as fast as one may have expected on the way to Bermuda. I mean, do you want to? You went to the final weather briefing this morning, John Burnham. Do you want to talk me through that a little bit?
So we had a light northerly, northeasterly gradient, which has pretty much died out. It's shifted around to the southeast, which is pretty much directly from Bermuda.
Sure.
And it's I think it's we have about 3 or 4 knots of breeze right now. Yeah. Maybe I'm being generous, but there's an outgoing current as well, which is flowing north-south out of the East Passage here, past Castle Hill, across the starting line. That adds a little bit of wind in the boat's sails, so that you can see the multi-hulls are having no trouble moving. They're not moving fast, but they're lighter than most of the other boats that are going to be sailing. And so hopefully the breeze will pick up as these guys will get going, and we'll have more breeze as we go.
Absolutely, John. And I think one of the key points here to point out to those who may be watching from home or various places in the world, or maybe out here on the water, some of the spectators, the divisions, we get the multis away first, and then the slower boats will start all the way up to what we expect to be the fastest boats in the fleet effectively. And so they'll end up all sailing through one another, which will be pretty exciting. Yay! Pretty awesome to be out here. Summers on his phone. Who are you telling to watch the race, Summers? You better be sharing the word loud and far. And on that note, guys, make sure you share. I sound like Trevor Martin from Mooloolaba in Queensland. Share. But it is absolutely awesome to be out here on the water for the Newport Bermuda Race. If you have just joined us, my name's Nic Douglass for Adventures of a Sailor Girl on the Newport Bermuda Race. It's lovely to be out here and to be live and bringing this race to you. And don't forget, guys, that Celeste will try and let me know who's commenting on there as well. So feel free to do that, Celeste, if you want to point out who's having a chat to me. Go Merlin! Alrighty. It's good to see all your comments there, guys. And if you have any massive burning questions, you can type them in the comments field there and let us know, and we'd be happy to come back to you. Gosh, there's a few press boats out here. So 170 boats in total. 3 in the multi-hull division for the first edition, thank you, of this race. Look at us go. What do you think about this start line, Summers? Highly technical.
Yeah, they've got to be careful not to be pushed over early here. It looks like Arethusa is going to take the boat end of the line, possibly, with, at the moment, Tribe's in the middle on starboard. And Elvis is coming with the wind, so they don't have a lot of breeze in their sails, and coming down towards the boat end as well. Hoping that no one's going to be over early, though. That's that's the key. It's going to take a long while to get back and clear the line if someone's over.
Yeah, absolutely. It would be really sad to see anybody sort of have to try and get back. But at the same time, it's quite entertaining for us when that happens, I think.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I've only been over once at the Newport Bermuda Race, and luckily we were only about half a boat length away from the pin, so it was a quick turnaround, and probably only lost about 35 seconds of the race. But yeah, the current can get pretty swift up by the pin end of the line, and when we were past at the boat end, there was a bunch of current ripping off the stern of the boat as well. So they're going to have to be very careful because we're right in the channel here.
We are right in the channel. And how deep is it here for those who may not be locals? Do you know, John, by any chance? An estimation will do me.
90 feet.
90 feet. Okay. In Australian?
90 feet. That would be about 28 meters.
28 meters? My Lord. That's a little bit large, that is. Oh, look at this. This is just fantastic. We've got 2 helicopters. I'm not sure which one's Danielle Foster now. I've lost him. How well is our driver driving here? I'm a little bit intrigued by what a great job he's doing. I mean, just who is this guy? Who is this guy that's driving our media boat? Yeah, I mean, who is he, John? Who is this guy?
Commodore George Hinman, past Commodore of the New York Yacht Club. He's no guy in a diner driving our boat today.
I know, I'm calling him the most overqualified media boat driver ever. What have you got to say about that?
I like that. Keep going. More of that.
I know, I've got to be nice to you so you put us in the right spot, right?
Absolutely.
No, but thank you for all your past work, no doubt with this race as well. And I hear you've done a few ACs too, buddy.
Done a few back in the 60s and 70s, so a little different than today, but hope the Cup comes back again to Newport someday.
We just had another gun, guys. That's 4 minutes to go for Division 1, and yes, I hope the Cup comes back here someday as well. This is our special guest commentator. He's trying to hide, but he's going to get in somewhere. All right, let's have another look-see at the start line. 4 minutes to go. I think I'd be placing myself somewhere towards the boat end of this start line. It looks a little bit favoured to me. That said, as we all know in ocean races, it's a long way from the start to the finish. And you can't win a race at the start, but you can certainly lose it, that's for sure. Hello, helicopter. Fantastic. Oh, look at that little puff. If you can just see this little boat over to the right, Celeste, and everybody watching at home, look at that little easterly that he's managed to group into. So that actually might encourage some sailors to want to punch over to that side of the shore. He may also be motor sailing, though, I think. Just got a little hunch, maybe.
He's got some current with him.
He's got some current with him?
Yeah, the current is flowing out. But in the main channel, it may be a little more of a southerly breeze.
Sure.
Over there, where he's on the edge of it, he may actually have a little more easterly. So maybe we'll see some boats try to work that side.
Absolutely. And we've got a lot of people commenting there to go and say hello to various boats. We will do our best, but it's quite difficult if you have just joined us. My name's Nic Douglass for Adventures of a Sailor Girl and the Newport Bermuda Race. We have with us Summers Kemp, past Commodore of Royal Bermuda Yacht Club, John, most overqualified media boat driver ever, past Commodore of the New York Yacht Club, and John Burnham, who is the co-media chair of the Bermuda Race Organising Committee. And we've got a question here from Michael Michele. No links to this live feed. Yeah, I know, we're working on it, guys. Don't you worry about that. We're trying to bring you the live feed at the same time as actually working on the boat. So we'll do our best to do that for you guys. So just to answer that question first and foremost. But here comes the start. Probably got about a minute and a half to go. And we've got Elvis most to windward, then Arethusa, and Tribe is the most leeward boat. Arethusa is a local boat to Newport, Rhode Island. I believe Tribe is also. And Elvis has been a program that's been going on for about 7 years now. So one of the first.
Tribe was the first.
And Tribe was the first.
First gunboat.
There you go.
Tribe was the very first gunboat and has been kept in amazing shape and is fully competitive. Arethusa is owned by Phil Lotz. He's a Commodore currently at the New York Yacht Club. And Elvis was just at the Caribbean 600, which is a very windy race.
Yeah.
They had quite a ride down there. So these are three very experienced boats, A lot of excellent sailors on board. Look forward to seeing who is going to come out in front.
Absolutely. I think from the amount of sailors that I've spoken to in the past few days, the overwhelming response has been that they can't wait to do an ocean race that isn't going to pound them to death. Were the words. After the Caribbean 600, the Middle Sea Race, and a few others this year in various parts of the world, they're all looking forward to getting to Bermuda and having a dark and stormy, a Gosling's Rum one, of course. And they're all coming over onto port here, guys. If you can see, Elvis is leading the way. Arethusa is the most behind, and Tribe is just up off Elvis's hip. You can open that for me again. And they're going to come at this line on port. I think I really like the position of Elvis there, and they do have the most speed as we come in to the first start of the Newport Bermuda Race for 2018. There we go. That's the start. They'll be a little bit late, but they're definitely not going to be over in this outgoing current. And as you can see, the numeral pennants 2 and 3 are up now, and that is for divisions 2 and 3, which will be starting together. I believe there's quite a few double-handers in the next division, but Elvis has definitely got the gun start, for the gunboats, leading away from Tribe. Thank you, John. Everyone's going, yeah, good one, Nick. Oh, be afraid. That's fantastic. And there's Arethusa just behind as well. So, John, what are you thinking here?
Well, I'm thinking if I were on one of those boats, I would just be trying to settle in. I guess Arethusa, I'd be trying to keep my air clear of Elvis. But I don't think you'll see anybody tacking anytime real soon here. It's slow to tack these boats. Once you get going, you develop good apparent wind speed. And actually, it's interesting. We're seeing the crews sitting forward on the leeward hull, trying to keep the trim forward in light air, which is standard procedure on a multi-hull.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you said, they may not tack for quite some time. They might not tack for about a day. Just to put that into perspective. Now, a fun fact about these gunboats, Elvis has on board with them a drone. We spoke to Anthony Katoon and Chad, who is the program manager or the project manager for Elvis yesterday. Their goal, and the person who will win and not have to buy any drinks in Bermuda, is the person who can fly the drone from the front of the boat, underneath the hull to the back of the boat and retrieve it. And I did say, but what happens if you lose it after the first attempt? And he said, well, that person has to buy all the drinks in Bermuda. So I like that very much. So I'm looking forward to seeing that footage or hearing about how they lost their drone on board Elvis. Fun fact about Elvis. Oh, look at those guys on Tribe. Very cute. All up on the front corner there. Now, the second division here, I mean, you're going to know more about this, John, than I do. Do you want to have a little bit of a talk through the second and third divisions and who we might be looking out for? I mean, I've spoken to Kiva personally, Mark and Hank. They're glamour.
Very experienced sailors. They've done the Bermuda 1-2 race as well as the Newport to Bermuda race. And Hank Halstead, who's sailing with Mark Stevens, is one of the more experienced sailors out here. These are all double-handed boats. Mm-hmm. 2 people on the boat, lots to do. I seem to remember Mark was his specialty is cooking for Hank. Is that right?
Yeah, I did. I did an interview with Mark and Hank just the other day, and they actually said to me that that basically the only reason they sail together is because Mark is such a good cook, and they spend the whole time at sea eating his homemade granola or drinking the beet juice that Hank likes to keep in his recyclable water bottle. It was a very confusing interview. No, not really. It was a fantastic interview focused on sustainability, and they do a really great job of making sure that their boat is sustainable as possible. And that's a good point also while we're on that note. I really love the Newport Bermuda race and everything that the green team has done. And a shout out to Joe Harris, everything that they've done to really get this race to another level in terms of sustainability on the Sailors for the Sea program, already at silver level. Hopefully after this race we'll be able to attain gold status. That would be fantastic.
Yeah, the Sailors for the Sea website has a Clean Regattas program that we're participating in, and there are 25 best practices listed. I think you have to get to 19 to get a gold level of certification. So that's the goal for the race this year. There's a sustainability page on the website for BermudaRace.com, and you can read more about it there. One of the interesting things the fleet is doing is a voluntary balloon tracking program, partnering with Clean Ocean Access, which is a local environmental group that tries to look after our beaches and maintain access to the beaches as well. Yeah. And they have this balloon tracking program trying to raise awareness to the fact that these party balloons, real estate balloons, etc., end up sometimes far offshore, and that's just the obvious part of the plastic that ends up in the wrong place.
Well, it's funny because I didn't know how obvious balloons were. To me, I was like, balloons? Really? I wasn't quite sure what the relevance of balloons were, but after speaking to a few people over the past few days, apparently that's one of the most common things that is seen at sea, and actually one of the most shocking things. Now, just look at this buoy, guys. Can you just show them that buoy? Can you see how fast the current is running off that buoy? Look at the current just ripping, guys, that way. Just as a good little indicator of what the sailors are dealing with out here. Not so much wind and plenty of outgoing current. So hopefully we don't see anybody early over. Now back to what we were just talking about, the sustainability program. The balloon tracking is fantastic. Avoiding single-use plastic. So we've seen at the Gosling's party, you may or may not have seen some of these interviews or videos that we've been putting up on the Newport Bermuda page and the Adventures of a Sailor Girl Facebook page. But the single-use plastic and the attempts that everybody's doing to avoid that at this regatta is just amazing. The Gosling's cups that are being used at the bar are being reused in Bermuda to the point where, you know, they're encouraging you to reuse your cup as much as possible, and then at the end of the day, deposit your cups into a container or a vat, and then those plastic cups will actually be washed and reused again, and that's just taking it to another level. No straws anywhere. There's another gun. 4 minutes to go for Division 2 and Division 3. And we'll try and keep you guys positioned. So these are all the double-handers. We have a dozen boats in total and sort of 6 in each Division 2 and 3. So fantastic to be here. Sailor Girl is loud and everybody else is soft is the feedback. I'm sorry, guys. I've got a really loud voice. I mean, I can tell. Hang on, wait. Look, come here, guys. I'm just going to turn their volume nozzles up. How's this? Volume nozzle up.
Louder.
Is that better, guys? Okay, cool. And volume nozzle, Summers, you ready?
It's loud. Louder.
That's
Yeah.
better. There we go. Excellent. And I'll just turn mine down a little bit. There you go. Is that better, guys? Are you happy now? Just kidding. I'm not turning my volume down. Right. So we're into Divisions 2 and 3.
In Division 2 and 3, it's interesting. There are 5 or 6 boats that are built by Hinckley or their Morris brand, which Hinckley also owns. They're the sponsor of the starting line. They have and they have a number of VIP boats out here, picnic boats, which is what they are famous for in the last 20 years.
Yeah, they look beautiful. Yeah, I'm a Sydney girl, if you haven't guessed, and we don't have so many Hinkleys down our way, but I think that Newport, for me, is famous for boat porn, as I call it, and the Hinkleys are just one of those, that's to be sure. And they also sponsored the official competitors briefing yesterday as well, which was a really great thing put together by the Newport Bermuda Race Committee Authority as well. And I know that we're just getting ourselves into the vicinity now. We might get you, Celeste, to pan around and give us a view of all of these boats as they're in their last 4 minutes, getting ready to head towards the start line. We are getting as close as possible, guys. Please bear in mind that we are restricted into how close we can get to the line, even as the official live streaming entity. We are working officially with the Newport Bermuda Race, and you can find the stream either here on @SailorGirlHQ or here on the Newport Bermuda Race Facebook page, and I believe it's now also on bermudarace.com. So Summers Kemp is also doing a lot of the website work for the regatta, so we have John Burnham occasionally taking media calls whilst commentating, myself trying to do social media whilst commentating, and Summers Kemp just had his laptop up on the dash of the media boat, making sure that the stream was up on the website. So jacks of all trades on board this boat, and I think you find that with sailing events. Everybody tries to do what they can. These boats opting for a different tact. Different tact. Oh, that's my second pun of the day, guys. A starboard one. Ta-da! I know, but they'll probably roll over onto port as we progress more into this sequence. We do have just over a minute to go now, ladies and gentlemen. 1 minute to go. There goes the Blue Peter for Divisions 2 and 3 at the Newport Bermuda Race 2018. There's Kiva, the boat that we've been talking about for most of the sequence, just because we've been lucky enough to get in touch with them. But I'm just looking down the line, and we do have closest to us here Durago, which is a CNC 41 owned by Eric Johnson. That's that white hull that's closest to us. We're just trying to pick out sail numbers, guys. If you're having trouble seeing them, so are we. We are a little bit further away from the start line than we would like to be. Excellent. Summers, get in here. Summers got great knowledge going over there, but he's too far away from the microphone for me to get to him. Come here and lift the volume switch. Come on, here we go.
Yeah, 51333 is kind of to leeward of everybody, just beyond Durago. It's got a bunch of pace going on right now, so it's looking good.
Boom.
There's the gun, so they're off. I would expect most of them to start tacking over. Boats down at the pin are doing that rather quickly. Maybe the boats, at the boat end are having trouble to get around the front of the start vessel. Hopefully they get around nice and smooth, and don't take the nice bowsprit with them.
That would not be ideal.
That would not be ideal at all. But
No,
yeah,
not.
They're definitely bunching up at the boat end there.
They are, and there's Kiva, the dark blue hull, and she's on her way. A great start from that white boat down towards the pin end, but I'd say that, and nobody was really able to hold that port tack. They all had to tack back over with a starboard approach in general. It looks like Nemesis at the far end has had one of the better starts. It's a swan. Oh, I love this.
Kiva's got some great guys on board. They definitely know how to make that boat go. And they've been going down to Bermuda practically every year for, gosh, as long as I've been sailing. So I would expect them to do well this race. Hank Halstead's a wizard at keeping a boat going in light air.
Yeah, I spoke to them the other day, and I said that Hank had been sailing that boat for 100 years, and I copped a bit of flack online for it. But no, he has literally been sailing that boat for forever. So he knows it so incredibly well. And two great guys on board there. So here we see some of the fleet now flopping over onto port. Kiva's still going over to that left-hand side. They might be looking for that breeze along the shore there. Great vision here, thanks to our amazingly overqualified driver. I'm going to keep calling him that all day. He loves it. He does. I can hear from him up the front. That's what we like to hear. Awesome work, Celeste, on the camera. Is everybody happy with the volume now, or do I have to adjust their switches again? Just wondering. For those who have just joined us, my name's Nic Douglass for Adventures of a Sailor Girl, and we're live here for the start of the 51st edition of the Newport Bermuda Race. That is the 2018 edition. 635 nautical miles left for these competitors as they head all the way over to Bermuda, and I can't wait to see them there. We all get to go the fast way, as John Burnham has described it. And we'll head over to Bermuda tomorrow morning, and we will be there on the finish as well, guys. So for those finishes that we deem to be relevant, the line honours finishes and potentially those who are winning divisions, we will head out to the finish line to bring to you live as well. And we'll be able to get a little bit closer for the finishes. We won't have the same restrictions. Next boat is this grey boat closest to us with an abnormally large bowsprit for a double-hander. What do you think, John?
Well, I think that is standing by for downwind sails when they get the opportunity, but not anytime real soon.
Yeah, not anytime real soon. And I've just got to make comment at this point. Here comes one of our press boats coming past us into frame. You'll see a press boat come through, guys. I've just got to make comment now on Summers Kemp and how he's able to just regurgitate the sail numbers and names of so many of these boats, and that's possibly because he's entered every single one of these boats into the computer and checked their details about 100 times. That's why he's here with us, because he's pretty much the database of the Newport Bermuda Race standing right next to me.
Too many numbers. I got to see a lot of faces this week. Meet a lot of new people, a lot of good Corinthian sailors that are looking for a good sail to Bermuda. Yeah,
absolutely, so. and get to know a lot of sail numbers.
Yeah, definitely a lot of sail numbers and all sorts of data from EPIRBs to MMSI numbers. The list goes on and on. It's a great effort by the team. to keep track of all the boats, and yellow brick tracking is on board each boat. So go online and track your friends. And
some of them are tweeting?
Yeah, so we have 98 yellow brick trackers that have the ability to tweet and directly from the boat. So we hope to see a lot of tweeting action from some of the fleet. So it'll be good.
And we're taking another loop, guys, to get ready for Division 4. Hi, guys. I'm Nic Douglass. Great to have you here with us, and we're doing our best to bring you a live stream of this start. This is Division 2 and 3. Celeste doing a great job behind the camera, and I have with me Summers Kemp, who is a past Commodore of Royal Bermuda Yacht Club. We were just speaking to him then. I'm also now going to call him the Oracle of the Newport Bermuda entry list. He's laughing at me. And we have John Burnham, i.e. the champion of the media here at the Bermuda race. I can say that now because John Winder's on the boat, his co-chair, and he won't be able to hear.
Yeah, his license as media person is it's suspended, but it's I guess we give him a license on the one boat that he's on, which is Dreamcatcher, a youth boat where he's serving as a advisor to a young crew from Eastern Connecticut. We're really looking forward to seeing them in Bermuda and having a safe and fun trip down.
Absolutely. I managed to catch up with them yesterday, and you can see the interview here as well if you get bored in between starts. It was awesome to catch up with. Let's see if I can do their names in order. I had Jane next to me. I had John over my head. I had OJ just there. I had Gannon next to me, and Peter and Annie was on the far side, and Sarah and Fritz came in late. And then there were actually two girls there, and I spoke to their mum overnight, so I have to give a shout out to the other two girls. I can't remember their names, I'm sorry, but they were actually at their graduation yesterday, so they weren't there for the interview, and they were really upset. So I have to say, yay, well done on graduating to these lovely girls. And they're also joining the Mudrats crew today, so you can check out that interview on my Facebook page. We've just had the 4-minute gun for Division 4, so we're heading back towards the start line after following Division 2 and 3. And Division 4 is the St. David's Lighthouse Division. It's one of the St. David's Lighthouse divisions, and this is the real division. Dun, 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 isn't it?
St. David's Lighthouse division, it has multiple classes within it, and it represents the core constituency of the race. Summers, how many are in the St. David's?
Yeah, Oracle.
136, maybe 100. No, more than that. 100. Yeah, 100. 130. About that.
All right. Majority of the boats are in St. David's or the Finisterre division, the cruiser division. We've got some very hot boats in Gibbs Hill and in the open division, and but the St. David's is a lot of families. A lot of the youth boats are in those divisions, and so this is the group that's been sailing the race for many of them have been sailing multiple times. We have some competitors who've been down to the onion patch 25 times, and I think the record is 30 by Jim Mertz. He's no longer with us, but he set a mark that not too many people can even imagine getting to. But John Browning is going for his 26th, Rich DeMoulin for his 25th, and
I spoke to Richie yesterday. I did a great interview yesterday, which is yet to come, guys. I actually did it at Zelda's, and for those who have been to Newport, Rhode Island before, Zelda's is one of the places you've got to go, and it's next to the IAC, which is easy access. But I managed to catch up with Lenny, who is the Commodore of the Storm Trisol Club, and he's doing his 16th. And then I also caught up with Rich and Chris, and they've done 7 together double-handed, and they're each going for their 25th, I believe. And he was telling me about his friend who's done 30. I'm like, oh my gosh. And then in the middle of them, I have Chris Sheehan, who's the skipper of Warrior 1, and he's done 2 and won 1 in this division. And I'm like, really? This is ridiculous.
Warrior 1's the defending champion.
Yeah, exactly.
And so we'll see how they go this time. But it's really hard to win this once, much less twice in a row. And the benchmark is Carlton Mitchell in the late 50s, who won 3 times in a row on Finisterre, and that's why one of the divisions, the cruiser division, is named after him.
Fantastic. Finisterre. Oh, that's really sad. I think that yacht was actually de-keeled off the coast of WA recently, sadly. I think it's the same yacht. Anyway, moving right along, it's great to see that there are people that have done it so many times. What is it that keeps you coming back to doing a race like the Newport Bermuda Race?
I think it just gets in your blood, and it's you forget the bad times, and the great times are so good. The camaraderie you develop, and the beautiful sailing that you get to do, but it's what I like is being part of a tight-knit crew. You feel like by the time you've sailed 4 or 5 days with people, you just feel like you're brothers and sisters.
Absolutely, and I think that's why I'm such a sailing diehard. I talk about diehards, and there's a lot of us in sailing that are diehards. We've got 30 seconds until the start for Division 4, so we'll peel you back around, guys, so you can check this out. Just calling through a few of the boats in this class. Swift, Lindy, Glim, Bermuda Oyster, Selkie, Grundoon, Nicole, yay! There's a boat after my name, I love that. Flyer, Gadzooks, Latitude, and Shearwater. We're looking at boats like, woohoo, there we go. That's go time, and flag number 5 is up. We've got CNC 402s, an Oyster 435, which is the Bermuda Oyster, not funnily enough, but lots of 40-footers, Cal 40s, Mason 43s, and CNCs in this class. Oh, look who's got the gun start here. USA 31346.
Lindy.
Whoa, Lindy, what a start from Lindy, crossing the fleet on port. We're going to get blocked by this other press boat. I did say if press boats get in my way, I'm going to behead them. Just kidding. I said I'd punch them in the face. No, I didn't. Just kidding. But really? That's all, guys. Guys, you can take it up with those other press outlets for blocking our view. But well done to Lindy for getting the gun start there in Division 4 as we roll on to Division 5. 2170. That's a Columbia 50. Tell me about Columbia 50s, John.
So Columbia 50 is probably a 50-year-old design. That boat has brand new sails and is extremely well sailed. James Grundy could be a factor at the finish line.
Absolutely. All right, we're keeping our eye out on Grundoon, the Columbia 50 by James Grundy. I get it now. Grundoon. Look at that. That's my third pun for the day, but that wasn't my fault. That wasn't my fault, people. He was the last to register, says Summers Kemp, with a little bit of disdain in his voice. The oracle's a bit grumpy over here. Oh, well done to Lindy. Oh, we've got sirens. Someone's in trouble. That press boat. See, I told you they were a menace. Oh, look, there's Aaron up there, our videographer on that press boat. Oh, no. Someone's stuck to the start boat. Silky. Oh, USA 40808 is Silky. Oh, that's depressing. Selkie, McCurdy and Rhodes 38. Skippered by Sheila McCurdy, one of our female skippers. That's not a good look. Uh-oh.
Well, that's an unusual event for Sheila. A really unfortunate way to start the race, but she's a top-notch sailor who has come within one place of winning the St. David's Lighthouse in the past. She's not going to be happy now. I wonder if she was driving or if she let someone else take the start.
As we have seen, you may have just joined us, but we've had a look at a few markers, and you can just see how fast the tide is ripping. So it's easy to underestimate that as well. But at least she's free now. That's a good omen for her. I'm not sure what kind of rotations. Ooh, this doesn't look good. Come on, get round the back of the boat. I guess the tide's going out, so she should clear the back of the boat now, but she's probably got to try and get back to the start line now, which is going to be difficult to actually go around the start boat as her penalty. Oh,
we think she just has to do one circle to clear herself, and it's funny because she's actually going backwards right now in the current, but the boat is beginning to turn.
Oh my gosh, yeah, the boat is beginning to turn, and she's now successfully sailing backwards in the current. We've had a few people commenting that it's super blurry. Just so you know, when we're live streaming depends on the speed that we are able to upload at and then the speed that you are able to download at. So that will affect the quality of your stream. And later on, this will be uploaded in full 4K quality, ladies and gentlemen. So if for some reason you've got not so much signal, or we've got not so much signal, you will be able to see it in higher res in just a little minute. Now, I just want you to peel to the left here, Celeste, and we can see just off our bow there the beautiful dorade here with the calico sails effectively. Now, don't let those sails fool you. They actually pay a lot of money for the sail makers to make them look old-fashioned, but they are high-tech sails as well as we come into Division 5, which has a lot of those prettier boats like S&S's and Swans and J40s and Grand Soleils. Have a chat to me, John, about the Division 5.
Well, you mentioned one of my favorite boats because I did the race in 2012 on Dorade when the Brookses had just completely rehabbed the boat, and they'd done a beautiful job with that. They subsequently we didn't win our class. We had a good race, but it was I guess a warm up for the boat. The boat went on to win the Transpac race on corrected time. And Matt and Pam, the owners, have been duplicating the races that Dorade did way back in the early 30s when it was owned by the Stevens brothers. And they did come back, and they did better in the last Newport Bermuda race. They've been down to the Sydney Hobart.
Yeah,
did you see them down there?
Yeah, I actually met them at Hamilton Island Race Week, and then they came down to do the Sydney Hobart, and then I saw them here. It's fantastic. It's such a beautiful boat. I'm so jealous you got to do a race on her. That's amazing.
Well, it was a very different start. We had 15 to 20 knots out of the northeast, spinnakers up. It was kind of exciting on the line, and but it was a very fast race, and the boat is very narrow. And it was radical in its time because it was like taking a 6-meter or an 8-meter, which the Stevens had been designing, and putting it into an offshore package. And so it was considered unsafe at the time. It's actually a beautiful boat in a sea, but it does have a little bit of a funny motion, and some people on the boat had trouble with seasickness. I had one moment I was quite happy to get back on deck when we were in the Gulf Stream, but it's really, I think we just had a gun.
4 minutes. Yeah, we did, but I love hearing those stories. I didn't know that. We're going to get a lot of glamorous little insights out of John Burnham as the day progresses, no doubt. But that was the 4-minute gun for Division 5 here, for Class 5 here at the Newport Bermuda Race. And if you have just joined me, it's fantastic to be here. We've got a lot of people watching, which is lovely. We've got a lot of people watching out here too behind me, and a lot of spectators watching. And media watching, but a lot of competitors watching their fellow competitors as they head off towards Bermuda. I can't see too many people tacking. Most people just heading out on port tack, probably for a day or so. Bye, everybody. Dots in the distance now as we come into the start for Class 5. And we've just been having a little bit of a chat about Dorade. Summers Kemp is looking like he needs a Gosling's rum. What do you reckon, Summers?
Yeah, that would be great right about now.
He has been working so hard. Don't you worry, we're going to sort him out as soon as this is over. And for anybody who's been involved with the yacht race before, you know how hard it is to get these things to actually get to fruition point. And this is where the adrenaline starts to come down, like for people like Summers. Look at you. You ready for a sleep?
No, I'm just watching this breeze come in. It's looking really good out there. A bunch of people are starting to get pressed up. And you can see the multi-hulls in the distance. They seem to have a little bit of a left shift, and they're sort of getting a little bit further offshore, but it's still a little bit of a scary situation up here by the boat end. In the start box. There's not a lot of breeze up there.
And we can see here Selkie. This is the boat for the start of Division 4, who actually found herself wrapped around the bowsprit on the beautiful Whitehawk. Hopefully Whitehawk is okay. It looks like they're all okay on board. Looks like they've got a large amount of girls on board, which is great to see, and at least they're on their way after doing their penalty turn. So hopefully we don't have any other mishaps like that. But we did say right at the start that the tide is absolutely ripping out and the breeze is not so strong. So very easy to end up in mishaps on the start line. 2 minutes to go for Class 5 here at the Newport Bermuda Race. Lovely to have everybody with us, and hopefully some of our sponsors are watching too. We spent all day yesterday at the Newport Shipyard. We've already shouted out Goslings a lot, and that's probably because we're all in need of a much-needed beverage. And we're looking forward to getting to Bermuda too. That's what this race is all about, guys, getting to Bermuda. I've been singing we're off to see the Wizard all week, and that's because I'm looking forward to following the Yellow Brick Road all the way over to Bermuda by plane. Not like these lovely sailors, but very, very excited. And Summers is looking forward to going home. What's so good about Bermuda, Summers?
It's a lovely place to go. I mean, it's warm usually. It's, the people are very friendly. The beaches are great. Yeah. You can do lots of boating and action, and you can do many different things all at once during one day. You can play tennis in the morning, sail in the afternoon, go out into town at night. So, yeah, it's a small community, friendly people, and it's beautiful.
I describe it to people as a small town that's also a country, which is an amazing feel.
Yeah, that'd be about right, Yeah, we're only about 65,000 people, so, it doesn't go so far as everybody, but you do know a lot of people.
Yeah, absolutely. And as we say that, we're coming into we're within the 1 minute gun for the 5th class, and hopefully we can stay in front of some of these press boats as we fight our way in. I can see here that we've got Dreamcatcher, which is the Mudrats team we were talking about. They're in a great position, a little bit to leeward though potentially. Look at that helicopter all the way in there. Durade is pushing down towards the pin, and we've got 40-something-03 potentially. I would say that it's Misty that is going to get a really good start in the middle of the line. 779 is Froya, a McCurdy and Rhodes 46. They've got that boat end start. I'm guessing they've got the best start out of the bunch there. 779 Froya for anybody who's watching. Gunther and Tobin are the skippers.
Frank Bowen is on that boat. He's our Gulfstream expert for the fleet. Has been writing a number of tutorials that can be found on the website. Another fellow on the boat is, and they call themselves the Over the Hill Gang, by the way. One of the young guys is Doug Logan from Stony Creek, former editor I've worked with, and Doug just started sailing with them last year, but he's hoping not to have to go forward to the mast.
Oh, no wonder they nailed that start in terms of current when he knows his water. What do you reckon?
Yeah, well, Frank Bowen is a master of the currents, but somebody did a good job positioning the boat.
Yeah, absolutely. Well done to them, that's for sure. Durade is away too. I think she's had a great start at the other end of the line for her. And she could be a potential winner too. She actually rates quite well. So we'll have to keep our eyes on her. If she sailed well, she could do she could have a pretty good race. And I think on that note, when we're talking about Frank and we're talking about potential winners, especially when we're in the St. David's Lighthouse Division, this is a good time to talk about this race potentially not having a definite winner, shall we say. It's quite a tricky race. We can see Laura Ann out there as well. They're the two guys that I mentioned before that are on their 25th races. That's insane. Is it insane?
I think you just keep doing it, and it's like anything. Everything's insane, right?
Yeah. I mean, people would say that me going to 50 sailing events a year is insane, I guess, but, we've each got our vices. Summers is laughing at me again. It's good to see him laughing. He's been a little bit stressed over the past few days.
Navy boat there with a good start.
Yeah, they've had a great start there. 23, which is Defiance, a Navy 44 Mark II, skippered by Matthew Signorelli, for anybody watching. Hopefully everybody's happy there. I'm just going to check the comments while we're happy. Shout out to Dan McMillan on J120 Deviation with his cool Novi socks. Oh my gosh. Looking for Division 7, Sleeping Tiger. Division 7. We're into Division 6 now, guys. So Division 7's up next. Just checking out those comments for a little bit while we're in between starts. Fantastic. We're into Class 6 now, guys. But yes, if you want to watch Class 7, make sure you stay with us. We're doing our best job to keep you in the middle of the action. If you have just joined us, this is the live broadcast of the 51st edition of the Newport Bermuda Race. My name's Nic Douglass for Adventures of a Sailor Girl and the Newport Bermuda Race. It's fantastic to be out here with my amazing co-commentators, John Burnham. He's got stories coming out of the archives, and the Oracle, as he shall be known, Summers Kemp. He knows every boat number and name off by heart after plugging them into the computer. They also both know how to sail, which is quite handy. And then we've got the most overqualified media boat driver ever, past Commodore of the New York Yacht Club. Look at him. He's all over it. Everybody knows him too. Give us a wave there. Nah, he's too focused. Look at him. Way too focused. Oh, what a glamour. Fantastic. And while we're coming into the start for Class 6, we just saw that Frank absolutely nailed his start on that boat. Can't remember the name of it. Freuer, that's right. Frank's on Freuer. And we were talking about the Gulf Stream, and I just thought I'd show you this little diagram. Woo! Don't worry, guys. We'll have professional slides later. This is our technology. Are you liking this? Now, I'm just going to point out a few things while you talk, John. You want to talk?
Okay.
Here, look. This is the start in Newport.
Yep, we go across the start.
Yeah.
200 miles down the track, you'll see where the color changes. That's the Gulf Stream, and it's going mostly east to west across the track of the boats. But then when they get to the other side in the lighter colors, there's some what Frank calls circular features, or eddies, where the current goes around in a circle.
Isn't this great audio-visual vision, guys? I hope you're enjoying this.
Well, this is different from most PowerPoints.
It's got moving fingers. Look at this. Woo! So, yes, Gulf Stream, and these are our circular motions. Look, I've learned, Frank, when you watch this back later after your amazing start.
So the goal is, of course, when you hit one of those circular features, is to go have the arrows going with you, and it could be an extra knot of current, which in a boat going or up to 3, Summer says, that could double your boat speed if you're going in very light air. And when you double your boat speed, it doubles your wind speed. And so your apparent wind is much greater, and the boat just keeps accelerating. The lighter you are, the more you'll accelerate.
So light boats will go faster if they manage to pick up these eddies at the optimum time, essentially.
Exactly.
Okay, copy. That makes sense to me. And this black line, of course, on this amazing audio-visual demonstration is the rum line. So we have the start being Newport at this top corner. I'm going to use John's finger now. Look at this. That's the start in Newport, and they're going all that 635 nautical miles to Bermuda. That's the goal, guys. Bermuda and the dark and stormies. We're very excited. I hope Bermuda's ready for us. Ooh, there's another gun as we come into the 4 minutes to go for Class 6. What's exciting about Class 6, guys? Shall we check up on the list? And it's more St. David's. These are all St. David's, guys. It's pretty exciting. I love this, by the way. I wish my dad was here. He'd totally nerd out on this. It's fantastic. Sorry, my dad loves the meteorology. He's fantastic. Class 6. Who have we got?
Well, Jack Hammer is one of 4 new J121s that are racing in this race. The boat is brand new in the last year. And the boats are really designed, it's a new J boat that's designed for sailing offshore, has at least 2 roller furling headsails, so it's a little easier up on the foredeck. And some of the boats are sailing with water ballast. Some of them, I think Jackhammer's one of them, in the St. David's Lighthouse division, you're not allowed to have water ballast. So they chose to sail without, which limits their speed in a breeze, but right now they're looking pretty smart.
Yeah, that's actually probably the smartest decision they could have made. Now, Oracle, come in and tell me what you're going to tell me.
Yeah, we've got past Commodore Jim Bench. He's on his boat Kahlua in this class. He's a good sailor. And also we've got Jay Gal, who's the Vice Commodore of the CCA. So he's on Temptress, and they're perennially doing really well in this race. So he's done a lot of races himself. I would expect this with Jackhammer and a couple other Canadian boats. It's going to be a pretty tough class to win.
Yeah, I would say so.
So Jay Gal's the vice chairman of this race, and so he's enjoying it this time. He's going to be probably watching it 2 years from now.
Yeah, he will be when he takes over as chairman. It's a really cool way that they do it with the Bermuda Race Organising Authority. Chairman, vice chairman, and then the next race the vice chairman rolls into the chairman role. So I think it's probable that all vice chairmans do the race because they're aware that they're going to be way too busy for the one following. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I think that's the case. And it's a big job to be the chairman of this race. And as Jonathan Bruin discovered this time around,
Absolutely, but he has done a great job, as has everybody on the organising committee, even this one who was a stand-in. You did all right.
I managed.
No, he did fantastically. But this division as well, and we spoke about water ballast and opting not to have water ballast and those sorts of things. And that's where those who may be watching may not understand how this works for handicap. Basically, those that have potentially greater options or advantages are handicapped accordingly, and we work off corrected time.
Do you really want to go? How far do you want to go with handicapping? Because it varies depending on the wind strength.
It all gets very complicated. And we've got a start going up. That's 1 minute to go for Class 6 we're with. So just a bit of a shout out to Regana, Jackhammer, Phantom, Airborne 4, Kahlua, Zoe 2, Shearwater, Moondog, Flying Lady, Milky Way, Nanook, Temptress, and Hero Maru. We've got boats like Beneteau 50s, First 40s. There's a Sydney 36 in there. Yay! You know him?
That's Chris Bergard. He's actually the closest boat to us in the dark blue hull. We're going to call that position the bowsprit position.
I love that, John Burnham. So after poor Selkie ended up on the bow, I believe, in Class 5, the most 28890 is Phantom, says Oracle Summers Kemp, and they're looking good.
They're looking like a serious bowsprit candidate at the moment. And they've
Kaboom!
got a jackhammer underneath them, and I think they're not going to be letting in there. Got the race committee waving their arms already on the boat, telling them that they're not going to be able to do that. Oh, it's really bunched up here. Jay Gal and the dark blue boat with the red hull to leeward of everybody. A lot of pace. Yeah, this could be interesting. Might want to get the fenders out. It looks like they've just nipped around the front on Phantom. Definitely, and Jackhammer is going to be close. The white hull, dark sails right on the bow. Oh, it is going to be close. Don't clip the backstay. Yeah.
Nice work. Yeah, I think, John Burnham, you're sweating here.
Yeah, that was a close one. And we know Jay Gall. I've raced against him in smaller boats, and he doesn't tend to give any quarter. But I think, as you know, he had enough pace there that he knew he was going to punch through, and he's got one of the best starts. Good job, Temptress.
Yeah, it looks like Temptress is in a strong second place there. Phantom just in front of him. And, they're all headed over, I think, to the other side of the channel where it's a little deeper and the current's probably ripping a little bit faster.
Alrighty, we're just going to pivot here so Celeste can get to the back of the boat and keep following. We're just going up and down and up and down and up and down within the press zone where we are allowed to go. So a little bit of a shout out to those who are watching. We are getting as close as we possibly can to the racing. We're trying to be as respectful as possible to the amazing New York Yacht Club as we possibly can be. Because they do have their exclusion zones, and we've been given special access as press, but this is as close as we can get, even as the official organisers. But yes, that is Class 6 away, but that's Class 6 of 17 classes, so we still have just a few starts to go, John.
That's right. I'll just tell you a little more about Chris Bergard, since I talked to him. He's somebody I sailed with many years ago in a little boat he designed when he was probably 21, and built out of cold molded wood. It was called Pump Rocker, and he's rocking right now. Chris is sailing with his wife and 2 kids and 2 other friends and his co-owner Joe Whalen, and they are from Bristol, Rhode Island, so they're a local team. Looks like most of the boats are not tacking, and they're carrying on out on starboard tack. So are we seeing a little more breeze fill in that direction, Summers? What do you think?
Feels like there's pressure up.
Yeah, I mean, from my elevated position, looks like it might be a little bit. I did notice earlier Hank Halstead on Kiva went over there to the eastern side of the passage and tacked, and then he just ripped over the top of the rest of the fleet. So I think, judging by that, I think there was a little bit more current over there, and I think the boats are headed that way to play that.
Yeah, if you go a little too far, you'll get out of the best of the current, but I think there's a sweet spot, which is what you're saying. What do you think, Nick?
I think that helicopter is more elevated than you, Summers.
It's got a great patch of breeze underneath them too. It's amazing.
A little cell, a little cell building underneath the helicopter, just near that press boat actually that's inside us. Grr. Anyway, no, I do like that joke, Summers. I'll pay you for that one. You definitely are the tallest one. But what do I think? Yes, I think there's definitely pressure building off that point on that eastern side there, and we're going to do a turn here, Celeste, if you're ready. And I think that if I was these sailors, I'd probably be heading out on starboard tack a little bit further to get myself into that pressure and then flop over onto port. But that said, as we've pointed out very recently on our highly technical audio-visual diagram, it's a long race, and there might be navigators who are lining themselves up for particular parts of the Gulf Stream, which might involve heading offshore quite quickly. You guys will know way more about this. This is my first Newport Bermuda. Very excited to be here, but these guys are definitely the wealth of knowledge when it comes to the Newport Bermuda Race. Well, the ones that we have on board anyway. There's lots of them.
No, nobody's hired me as a navigator for this race yet, so I won't say I've got any special knowledge.
I'm going to indicate this is what he was referring to when he said from his elevated position. Yeah. So mean.
Did you get involved in the navigation when you were racing in your 10 races?
They usually had me on the foredeck as a younger person on the boat, but we did have a lot of good navigators that joined our team here and there. The Newport Bermuda Race really is a race that's in 3 parts. It's 3 races in one. You get your money's worth. It's you got to make a good exit before the sea breeze dies. Obviously this year, this is a very light bit of sea breeze. It's probably going to die a lot sooner, and we'll see, maybe some of these boats might see the bridge lights over there, the Pell Bridge, tomorrow morning when they
hopefully not.
Yeah, hopefully not. But, it's a race to the stream, and then it's a race through the stream, and then it's a race on the other side. There's 3 distinct parts to it. But yeah, all the navigators are definitely going to they've picked a spot they want to enter the stream already, and they're going to try, to get the helmsman and the guys on board to get them there. And hopefully by the time they get to the stream, there's a little bit more pressure so they don't get swept too far west.
Yeah. And then at least they'll be in warmer water.
Yeah, warmer water, and then the Sargasso seaweed comes out, and and the dolphins at night. So yeah, it's going to be a long, great race.
I'm checking out some of the boat porn. Sorry, Celeste. Check that out. She is beautiful. I don't know what she's called. Spectator boat. But hello. Okay, we'll go back to the race now. I'm sorry, I can't help it. We're in Newport, Rhode Island. Sometimes you just got to have a look. It's like window shopping, right? Absolutely, says the voice. What a glamour. And you can see here we're actually getting a little bit of motion out of these boats now. I reckon we've got decent pressure. It's picking up here. Look at this sunshine. You never would have expected this morning as I was out in the rain.
Yeah, Castle Point's looking pretty glamorous over there.
Castle Point?
Yeah, it's looking pretty glamorous in the distance over there.
Just over here.
I know they do a good barbecue, so shout out to everybody out there on Castle Point enjoying the afternoon, watching everybody float by.
And if you know anybody on Castle Hill, tell them they can watch live and hear what's happening. Well, we're a little bit closer. Just a little. No, it's fantastic. We're into the 4-minute now for Class 7. We might have a little bit of a look at who's racing in Class 7. Again, St. David's Lighthouse Division. And we've got a few... Oh, there's a Sydney 38 in there. And look at all these J122s, J120s. There's 6 J120s, 4 J122s. There's a First 40, Sydney 38, and a Salona 41. Summer Grace. I mean, John Burnham, he just keeps pointing at it. Summer Grace, is that your pick?
I got a hot tip.
Hot tip. Summer Grace. You heard it here first. Or Orion you like as well. Okay. Orion is almost like the onion patch, but not quite. Maybe I need sleep.
Sleep will help with your spelling, I think, perhaps. I think I like Summer Grace because I have a boat named Grace. And we like sailing it in the summer.
I'm declothing Celeste, the awesome camera chick right now because it's so sunny. She needs to get out of her jacket. I'm going to put your vest back on, I think. Yeah. And thank you, Helly Hansen Newport, for this amazing swag that we're peeling off. You can't see it right now, guys. I might have to... Here we go. There we go. She's back in. We're going to reposition the microphone. We've got it tangled around. Here we go. Just give me the camera for a sec, Celeste, so everybody can say hello. Look at her. Yay. Hi, Celeste. She looks amazing in her Helly swag. She's shooting. Yeah, girl. Yeah, there we go. Helly Hansen Newport swag. That's Celeste. She's doing an amazing job behind the camera. And 1 minute to go. And everybody that's watching has gone, Summer Grace. Yay, we love Summer Grace too. There's a whole heap of people that now love John Burnham. And he's now their favourite commentator because they love Summer Grace too. John Burnham, it's now Adventures of John Burnham. You now have to go around the world. Amadeus 5 is a pick. You like that one too? And XP 38.
And tacking down by the pin. But these guys look early to me. You know, they're all trying to go back upstream here.
Yeah.
And
upstream,
up current. That's rocket science on broad reach down by the pin end, and trying not to get swept over. Yeah.
Oh, look at them going sideways. This is a great view. 20 seconds.
20 seconds to go. I think we might see our first over early here.
Oh.
Yeah, the guys in the middle are definitely moving sideways.
Unlucky champs. Here we go. We've got less than 10 seconds. Oh, they're in trouble. Just start going back now. There we go, bang. Are we going to see an individual recall? They may have let it go. We don't have the best view down the line, guys, so please, this is a provisional potential somebody is over. All clear by the looks of things.
Clear,
yeah. You. So who have we got closest to us is Madison. I think it's Madison 9-3. This boat that's just punched at the pin, the navy blue hull, is Madison. Yeah. I think they've got the best start of the bunch, at least that we can see. What are your thoughts, Summers?
Yeah, he definitely looks like he's taking the current action right now. And coming in late is Bellatrix.
Yep.
Yeah, and then super late. Can't see the number on that one. Very conservative start, but sometimes that's good.
Yeah. And as we've said, it's a long race. It's not all about the start. It's probably better for these guys to just get across the line, not be over, and then pick their way to the Gulf Stream. That's where all the gains are going to be made by what I can gather from this race. I'm no Newport Bermuda expert by any means, but everything that everybody has told me is that it's all about how you hit the Gulf Stream, and you're saying that time and time again today, John and Summers. So we'll see what happens. Gosh, that start boat's beautiful.
Absolutely. Whitehawk is one of the dressiest signal boats perhaps we've ever seen, although Simon Davidson, who's managing the boat, may be having second thoughts about having the boat on the line since the current, it's lying to the current rather than the wind, and the bowsprit is, I guess it's their best defense, isn't it?
I do like how John Burnham has started calling the most windward boat the bowsprit boat instead of the boat end boat. I love that. Summers is giggling. Summers is giggling a lot today. You're coming good, Summers. You're starting to feel human.
Yeah, all the headaches are slowly sailing away in the distance, so it's all good.
Especially that once that boat went, that was the last to register. Who was that?
The last to register. I've forgotten him already.
Yeah, but I mentioned him. He was like last to register. But as soon as he sailed off into the distance, Summers has come good. Look at that smile. Oh, he's so excited. So this is a lesson. Anybody doing the Newport Bermuda race or any race, get your entries in on time, people. Slash your regos. Seriously. Just saying. Right, back to the boats. There's boats in this race? What? Yeah, there she is. There goes Summer Grace. A shout out to anybody watching who loves Summer Grace. John Burnham, your personal favourite. Look at those black sails, white hull, pushing out in that breeze on the left-hand side.
Summer Grace, I think, is the white hull right there. Yeah, they had a conservative start.
That one up there with the overlapping headsail, they're on fire. Oof. Let's try it. Blue numbers. Oh, I think that's the one that's Madison. That's Madison. They got off the boat end first, I think, and then they've punched. We can't quite see their numbers, guys. It's too dark. But whoever that is, let us know if you know who that is. They're having a glamour. How are our comments going? Over your shoulder, Celeste. We all good?
Lots of sleeping tiger support.
Oh, lots of sleeping tiger shout-outs. They're in Class 7, which is next.
No, it's this one.
Yeah. That was Class 6. So Class 7 is this one. Oh. That's 7. So lots of Sleeping Tiger support.
Only 10 more divisions to go.
Oof, I've got this nailed. I'm with you, people. If anybody's on the water and has a coffee machine, I'd appreciate it. Probably come off a Hinkley. Shout out to Hinkley. Did you like that?
Yeah, make it 2, please.
Yeah, make it 2. Bring us coffee. Bring us coffee. Bring us coffee. Oh, here's one of the J121s that's just getting ready. Alchemy from Nantucket. I do like saying Nantucket in an Australian accent. It sounds really different. Can you say it? Yeah, no. What did you say?
Nothing.
What did you say?
It's got
Can you just say Nantucket for me?
Nantucket.
And then I say Nantucket.
Nantucket.
It's a bit different. And then he actually said it rhymes with something. We didn't want to say that on camera. I did. I'll go there. It's all good. Summer Grace is closest to us with the dark hull, guys. 1, 2, 2, 3, 5. And then we have Foxy. Foxy is 600. That's one of the other J's. Oh, I love the colour of that one. What's that one? 3 something something 07. Anybody got eyeballs?
Yeah, it's
Coronilla.
sounds like an
Oh,
Australian.
Caranella! Yeah, it's a Sydney 38. No wonder I like the colour.
What does that mean in Australian?
Caranella is an indigenous word, and I have no idea what it means. Do you know what it means? Nah, Celeste's just shaking her head. Can someone tell us that's watching? I think the Aussies are all sleeping, but if you know what Caranella means, or if you would like to Google it for us, we would love to know what it means. We can't use our phones while we're streaming. You know, we got a bit on out here, so. Go Caranella. Go. I've got a new favourite, just because it's a Sydney 38. I'm kidding. Well, we're going for Summer Grace and also Sleeping Tiger in this division, just because so many fans are watching. So I think that makes us cheer for Sleeping Tiger for default. What do you reckon, Celeste? Let's hear from Celeste. What are your thoughts about this start? Given this is your first offshore race start ever. What do you think?
Oh, it's very exciting down here. I'm trying to concentrate and keep it steady for you guys. I'm so sorry we're bopping around quite a bit, which is very soothing.
Soothing but not so soothing for the amazing camerawoman that is Celeste. Coming in to Division 8. Lucky I know my code flags. Division 8 and 4 minutes to go. Maybe we'll have to have a chat to our best media boat driver. Oh, I shouldn't say best. Most overqualified media boat driver of all time. You all good up there, buddy? He's great.
Fascinated by the commentary you bring to all of us.
You're what?
Fascinated by the knowledge of your commentary.
Thank you, sir. It's not me, though. The Brains Trust is definitely John Burnham and Summers Oracle Kemp. That's your new name, Summers. Oh, no, he says. What?
Cronulla is derived from Caranella.
What is it? I think. Oh, Cronulla is derived from. Oh, thank you, HL DeVore. Shout out. He's watching. What a legend. Thank you for Googling. Great to see you, HL. Caranella is actually the Indigenous word for Cronulla, which is a suburb in Sydney. It's on the southern side of Sydney. And our amazing cameraman, Aaron, is from Cronulla. So I think we have to cheer for Caranella. Well, at least Aaron has to cheer for Caranella. He's over on that boat over there.
How did you not know that?
I'm not from Cronulla. How was I meant to know that? Yeah. Just saying. How did you not know that? How did you not know...
From the other side of the world.
I know, it's totally fair. I don't know how I didn't know that. I think I'm trying to focus on 170 entries and not just the one called Caranella. Is that all right?
Yeah, that's all right.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for what glamours of, like sparks of knowledge that fly out of the Oracle's mouth for this next start, which will be Class 8. And we've got 2 minutes to go. Well, John Burnham's also stripped down to his T-shirt. We're getting ready for Bermuda, guys. He's got the sunglasses on. We're all ready. That's for sure. I might have a little bit of a look who's in Class 8. Is that allowed?
Yeah.
Awesome. Who have we got? Warrior 1 is in this division. I love Warrior 1. They're fantastic. And they've been to Sydney, by the way.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, I know. I actually caught up with a whole bunch of people in Sydney last year from Storm Tricycle. We had Christopher Dragon, Triple Lindy, and Warrior One were all in Sydney to do the Sydney Hobart. So I've met all these lovely people before, and they were some of the first people that I saw when I got to Newport, Rhode Island for the Newport Bermuda Race.
Class, with the Bermuda
We
boat in it.
might head round to the start. We've just another Bermuda boat. We've got 2 Bermuda boats in the race, and this is the second one. The red.
Right on the bow.
Yay, Summers. Who is this boat? This is Nasty Medicine. Shout out. We've got heaps of people watching who want to see Nasty Medicine, which will be the red boat when we get there. Coming into the 1 minute gun for Class 8.
Yeah, it's they don't look as anxious as the class before. There goes the 1 minute gun. So hard to pick out a bowsprit boat at the moment. But we got YYZ right back, sort of trailing everybody in. They're trailing Crocodile. And then Nasty Medicine is in front of those people. So, yeah, they're looking good here. Nobody's having to turn up current yet. Everybody's still headed relatively good to the line. I think there's been a little bit of a righty wind shift in the past 5 minutes. And it's
Feels right to me, and a little increase in pressure.
Yeah, I don't know who's on the hip of Nasty Medicine there, but they seem to be having a little bit of a chat.
I think that's Warrior One, actually.
Is that Warrior One?
No, they're behind.
No, they're behind. Yeah, no, they're down to leeward.
Conservative start.
Conservative start, says John Burnham. Apparently we're seeing a lot of people who have done this race before with conservative starts. I can see that bow popping out there. They're going to have a glamour, whoever that is. Down to, boom, off we go.
Yeah, Nasty Medicine with a good start there. He's got clear air.
I think it's Kenai, is it?
Is it Kenai just underneath him? Could be. It's another black sail with blue numbers on it, so that's not very easy to see.
Shout out to everybody who's got black sails and dark sail numbers. Thanks for considering your commentary team. We're really appreciative. But no, I do think that's Kenai. I met that boat when it was under previous ownership in Key West last year, I believe. But I think that your best start has definitely gone to your Bermuda team there, Summers. You can definitely claim that one.
Yeah, they're definitely looking good for the camera right now. So, yeah, we'll see. But yeah, they know they've done this race on that boat a number of times. Dr. Steve Sherwin, he's got a number of crew returning. They're a tight-knit group. So, yeah, I think as long as they keep their nose clean in the Gulf Stream, I think they'll be all right.
Absolutely. Warrior One just crossing the line now. Now, shout out to these guys. They are the defending champs of the St. David's Lighthouse Division, headed by Chris Sheehan. Lovely group of guys as well. And they had a little pre-race luncheon at Zelda's yesterday, and it was great to catch up with them. So stand by for that interview, as well with Lenny, who is on board Vamp. I caught up with Lenny there as well, so you'll get to see him. He's the Commodore of the Storm Tricycle Club at the moment. Now, I've been waiting for this. This will be my 5th pun of the day, guys. Are you ready for this? Look, there's, what's that boat just there going past the start boat? What's it called?
Crocodile?
Yeah, in a while, Crocodile. See what I did there, Summer?
See you later.
Yep, see you later. We'll see you in Bermuda, everybody. That is Class 8. And they're on their way to beautiful Bermuda. And we say Bermudaful Bermuda. I'm going to teach you that one, Celeste. Bermudaful. Yeah, hashtag Bermudaful. Woo. Go the Instagram chick. Woo! Yeah, hashtag Bermudaful. Class 9. Who have we got in Class 9 that we need to keep an eye out for? The breeze is picking up. Oh, the jacket's going back on. The sun's out, but the breeze has picked up. Lots of wardrobe changes on board the media boat. Do you feel like a rock star, John Burnham?
Far from it.
He looks like a rock star. Look, pop collar, sunglasses. You guys are doing a great job. Have you ever commentated before?
Never.
Have you ever commentated before?
Never.
I think we're having them back again, guys. How good are they? Shout outs. Lots of likes for these guys. They're absolutely awesome, and I'm loving it. It's fantastic to have them here with me. If you've just joined us, my name's Nic Douglass. We have Summers Kemp, past Commodore of Royal Bermuda Yacht Club, and did all the registrations. Well, did a lot of work for the registrations with the amazing Bermuda Race Organising Committee. Co-chair of the Bermuda Race Organising Committee is John Burnham, and these guys have also done a bunch of Newport Bermuda races. We're not going to count them up because they make me feel insecure. Oh yeah, and then he's going to stand down as well. Just kidding. No, it's great. We're coming into Class 9, guys. We might pop around. We're probably going to pick up the Blue Peter.
Yeah, this is YYZ.
YYZ. Go the Canadians.
I believe they're from Nova Scotia. It's not his first time in the race, I believe. I believe the boat's done it before. Might have been a different boat, but it's the same name, same guys. And Warrior 1 on his hip up there with the writing on the sails. So, but these guys are punching out over here on the right-hand side, while the majority of the fleet's still going to the left. So it'll be interesting who's going to get the first jump.
I actually think that there was more pressure off that headland on the left-hand side of the course for our earlier starts, like all the way up to Class 7. But now this stream of pressure that has forced John Burnham to change his wardrobe is really coming down this sort of right-hand middle section of the course that we can see. Of course, we know it's a 635-mile rum line over to Bermuda for the Newport Bermuda Race. This is the 112th year of the race. It is the 51st edition, and it's fantastic to be out here coming into the 9th class start of 17 classes. We're ripping through. They're walking out the door. See you later, little boats heading all the way over to Bermuda, and we're going to spin around. Great shot there of Y, capital Y, capital Y, Z. I learned that.
Z, Z.
No, they lack it in capitals.
I definitely know that.
Summers has learned that too. It's important. Capital Y, Z. And over yonder, we've got a few of our bigger boats. We're coming towards the bigger end of the spectrum. For those who may have just joined us, that's Kodiak. Tell me about Kodiak.
Kodiak is skippered by one of the most experienced skippers in the race, Lloyd Ecclestone. He was just named to the Bermuda Race Roll of Honor, which is was formed with the 100th anniversary of the race in 2006. There are now 10 members, and Lloyd, who has won this race before and has done, from memory, I think 22 races.
Is that all?
Well, he's behind a couple other fellows, but he has a great crew, and they keep coming back every time, and they just love doing the race. I think we might get a close-up view of him here if we just hang out here.
Absolutely. And for those who have just joined us, the multi-hulls got away first. A fantastic start to Elvis, and then Tribe just behind them, and then Arethusa. And then we've had all of the smaller boats heading off to Bermuda, and the larger boats will all start, we're getting progressively bigger essentially as we head on. We're into the 4-minute gun now for Class 9. This is where it gets complicated on your code flags, guys. Just saying. And we might just get a nice little close-up over here of Kodiak that John Burnham was just talking about. And Summers, you look like you're itching to talk about a few things in Class 9 for us.
Class 9, yeah, Kodiak's a beautiful boat. Got a buddy on there, so hopefully he does all right. I did buy him a lot of Studron while I was away, so but I don't think this race is going to need it at all.
You think? See, I actually get more crook when it's more crook. For those who are watching from the US, crook is Rookwood. Australian slang, crook is sick. Right. I actually get more crook. Just to explain. I actually get more crook when it's light and lumpy than rough.
Yeah, well, I mean, I would agree with you. I tend to do the same thing, especially if there's fishing involved.
Or there's nothing to do.
Yeah, nothing to do, but yeah. I mean, you're a sailor. If you're out there, you always got something to do. But there have been races where there's been absolutely no wind, and we've been stuck in an eddy going around in circles for a couple hours, and, with all the sails down and going for a swim. So, I don't know. We may get some stories when we get to Bermuda of a couple of boats with that happening.
Well, I mentioned Elvis earlier and that they've got a drone on board, and their competition is going to be to fly the drone from the front of the boat underneath the hull and then out the back of the boat. And the first person to do that doesn't have to buy any drinks in Bermuda. If anybody loses the drone, they have to buy all the drinks. But then they reckon that they may be going slow enough to jump in and retrieve the drone, and it won't actually matter. So they're going to attempt this as many times as possible. And, of course, we'll be getting all of that footage, or I'm going to get cranky at Anthony Katoon. Just saying. But, I can't even envisage jumping off a boat while racing. You've done that before.
Yeah, well, I mean, really, it's not racing. You're not going anywhere. The dial's 0.00, So, you just sort of think about dropping the anchor and just go for a cool-off.
Oh my gosh, I freaked out the first time I had to drop my anchor in a race too. It's just not what I'm used to knowing. So we might get Celeste to jump over to this side of the boat, and our overqualified media boat driver is going to get us right into position, because we are coming into the 1 minute gun for Class 9. And let's just have a little bit of a look at the types of boats in this class. Oh, we want to watch Blackwatch. That's the S&S. Oh, and we've got thumbs up from our amazing media boat driver. That amazing boat that looks like a enlarged version of Dorade is in fact an enlarged version of Dorade, because it is an S&S custom yawl. But it's sort of between 50 feet. How big is she?
I think she's a little bit bigger. I think she's just over 60. But she was built for the race in 1938, and she's sailing this is her 80th anniversary of her first Bermuda race.
Congratulations, Blackwatch.
And we have two boats here, brand new boats, J121s, Incognito and Alchemy, who are brand new this year. So that's the spread that we have in this class.
Yeah, wow. So we've got brand newies and 80th anniversaries. That's just lovely. So Blackwatch number 71 is in amongst all of those black sails. We'll see them pop out towards the start line within 1 minute to go here. And 43777 43777 is Crazy Horse. I think they're going to end up in your bowsprit position, John Burnham, as we start to be able to spin around. Let's hope not. 666. That's a scary number. Reindeer, a Morris 48, Anthony Parker. Bang! And it's USA 1 that gets the gun. That's Incognito, one of the brand new J121 skippered by Michael Brito. Fantastic start.
He's another local sailor from Rhode Island.
Oh, awesome to see. And 50400 Trip 41 Entropy looks like they've got a good start as well. So they're a what?
Entropy is another local boat, even closer at hand from Jamestown right here.
Oh my gosh, literally just to our left. Excellent effort by all those boats to have a great start. Looks like Blackwatch has had a blinder too, considering she's not going to be as fast as these other lighter, more modern hulls around her. But she'll hold her own. Don't you worry about that. Gosh, I love S&S boats. Older boats are just glamorous. It's like older people. The experience just gives them some sort of je ne sais quoi. It is lovely. Did you know I could speak French? Just kidding, I can't. That's like one of few words. Summers is laughing at me again. Sorry.
No, not laughing at you. I'm laughing with you.
Okay, good. Yeah, I know I always laugh, so it's quite easy to laugh with me, thankfully. Otherwise, I'd be quite an upset person. We're coming into Class 10 here out of 17. Oh my gosh, we're more than halfway through, everybody. Woohoo! If you've just joined us, we're at the Newport Bermuda Race. My name's Nic Douglass. For Adventures of a Sailor Girl and the Newport Bermuda, it's fantastic to be out here live streaming. I have to say that the brand new J121 Incognito absolutely smashed that start for anybody who's watching. And a great start to Entropy as well. And our expert commentator, John Burnham, did tell us that they're both local boats. So perhaps they were all over starting in that sort of condition. Previously, we've seen great starts from our Bermudian boat, the Red Flyer.
Nasty Medicine.
Nasty Medicine. What do you say? Nasty. Nasty Medicine. Well done to those guys. They had a glamour. Elvis also had a glamour in the first start. We saw Dorade have a good start in their start down to Leeward. We're cheering for flying the Tiger boat in Class 7, or we'll get Sleeping Tiger. We've got to cheer for them because so many people are watching, and thank you for doing so. And if you are watching, thank you, and thank you for sharing. We are doing our best to bring you all of the action from direct out here on the water. That looks like Christopher Dragon with some...
It does look like
yeah,
Dragon.
it does look like Christopher
Yeah,
Dragon.
it does. Are they in the next class or... Yeah. Yes, they are.
Aha. I recognise that one. Look at that. Christopher Dragon just down towards the committee boat there, warming up for the next start. Starting to come into some seriously pumped up race boats here, ladies and gentlemen. There's Christopher Dragon, Andrew Weiss. I did meet this team when they were in Sydney for the Sydney Hobart. So, and then we got Merlin, Siren, Kodiak, Wahoo, Temptation, Oak Cliff. That's one of the Oak Cliff boats. There's quite a few here. In fact, two of them ran into each other the other day, if you haven't seen our little registration video. Bank von Bremen, Magic, and Christopher Dragon, which is that black boat with the green numbers. It's a dead giveaway, as we say. where I'm from. Oh, it is getting chilly. Are you warm enough there, Celeste? Yeah, we might put your jacket back on. I'm going to hand the mic over to Summers to give us some wealth of Oracle knowledge while I go and get Celeste her jacket. Or John, you guys take it away.
All right, I got it, yeah. Yeah, do I get my union card? Merlin is in this class. We'll just talk a little bit about Merlin. It's a famous West Coast boat designed by Bill Lee, ultralight displacement boat that really set a trend for many West Coast boats being built that were super light, pretty narrow, and I think Merlin's only 12 feet wide, and she's been bought by, get this, Chip Merlin, who is from Florida, and has brought her up to do her first Newport Bermuda Race.
I have a question. Was it called Merlin before he bought Chip Merlin?
That's why he bought it.
It was
named for
I love that. That's so good.
So Merlin held the record from LA to Hawaii for 20 years, the Transpac record. So this boat is one of the most famous ocean racers of all time.
That is amazing. Do you know what I'm starting to realize? There are some very, 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 well, not starting. I did realize it, but every single start we have, there's a boat with an immense amount of history, be it from the crew or the boat. It's pretty awesome, isn't it?
Absolutely, and that's part of what's really special about this race.
Yeah, I love it. And all these SMSs, we just saw Black Magic get away. John filled us in that it's her 80th race. Look at Summers, he's just totally enjoying the action, aren't you?
Yeah, no, I mean, these boats, like Kodiak, that was one of the boats that when I was a kid, the Kodiaks and the Boomerangs, and they were all sailing to Bermuda in this race, and holding records, and at the time, so it's great to see those names still out here. Same owners, so yeah, it's pretty good. And Merlin, yeah, as John was saying, it is a different boat to all the other ones in this class. So I'm pretty interested to see how that one goes.
Yeah, I can tell he's loving this. I can see how much Summers is loving this. He's just being a bit diehardish right now. As we come into the start for, where are we at?
We are
10. We're at 10! Yay! We've got 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. In case you haven't joined us, we've got 17 classes. We did have 2 and 3 start together, so it'll be 16 total. So we'll just get a little bit of a shot of perhaps these guys winding up as we come into the 4-minute gun for Class 10. You can see this whole division. Bank von Bremen is this white boat just here with the red stripes on the sail. Kodiak with the blue hull and the black sails, just to leeward of them. And they're all in this division. Christopher Dragon with the dark hull and the green numbers further to leeward. Merlin, wow, I can see what you mean. She is a little bit different looking. Temptation is in the next class, and they're getting in the mix here. Oh, they're in this one too. Temptation Oak Cliff. Oh, I've seen that boat on the hard stand actually at Long Island. Great to see them out and about. We did have a few of the Oak Cliff boats get away in the prior division, so they're all on their way. 4 minutes to go. And this breeze is building. Huzzah. That's what we like to feel. Look at you nodding your head.
Breeze is building, a lot more cloud cover, and we got some dark clouds you might want to scan over and look at over Jamestown there.
Can they stay over there?
What can we do about that?
Well, I'd like you to make a call. Can you make a call, John?
Yeah, you've got my phone.
Damn it. Hang on a minute. I'll go find it. Hey, Summers, can you make a call?
Yeah, no, unfortunately. But if you look the other way, we're starting to see blue sunshine over there. So that's good for us on the media boat, but not probably good for the guys sailing. And, of course, that's the way they got to go. So blue sunshine's probably going to mean a little bit of less pressure.
Yeah. Less pressure. No, less helicopters, so less forced wind. But hopefully lots of good action and racing no matter where they go as we come into the start for Class 10. What are your thoughts, John?
Well, just one last thing about the weather. It usually comes from the west Summers, so that blue is receding at the moment, and that cloud might be coming this way. So yeah, we're winding up for the start. We'll see who's in the bowsprit position.
I love how you just throw to me in the bowsprit position after giving us the depressing news that it may start raining. Thanks for that, John Burnham. What a ledge. Meanwhile, you can see these guys all lining up in the box here for the Class 10 start, and I can see a lot of the maxis over on the shore giving those guys on what hill's that called, Summers? I can never remember. You love saying it, I know you do.
Is it Castle Hill?
Castle Hill, look at that. They're in the box seat right now to see all of the maxis getting organised. Proteus there hoisting their mainsail, one of the 70-ish footers in the race that will get away in our later divisions. Coming into this start, still just over a minute to go now. Our overqualified media boat driver, best in the business, is getting us in the zone. You don't really want to get yourself into doing a bad job well, though. Can I just say that? Correct?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's something we learn in sailing. Never do a bad job well.
You're absolutely right. Absolutely right.
Are you shocked at how many one-liners I come out with? You just keep laughing at me too up here.
I'm amazed you can keep going at this speed.
You should see me after a coffee. Summers is nodding again. I can see it. I don't even have to look, and I know he's nodding because he's seen me after a few coffees. And here we come. We're within the 1 minute, 25 seconds to go. 45 seconds to go. Thanks for the correction, John. Kodiak coming in hot. Temptation in a good position there. I actually like where Temptation are, but I have to say that, yeah, the red hull is in a really nice position to leeward. If I can just get a little look-see at these ones. Here we go. Yeah, Bank von Bremen, I think, is actually in a really nice spot. They're going to come in with speed. Wahoo is extended. How long to go here, people?
Well, I think we've got about 12 seconds. So, question.
Count it in, John. Count it in.
I don't think I have the time.
He doesn't have the exact time. But here we go, guys. I'm going to count it in. I reckon we're on 5, 2, 1. You reckon, Summers? Go! Kaboom! Look at that cannon. That's what we like to see. And Wahoo, Summers called it. They've got the best start, followed by Kodiak, Von Bremen, and to leeward. Can't quite see them. Christopher Dragon, you've had a shocker. Hate to say it. And Merlin.
Yeah, Christopher Dragon was in the mix early. Just looks like they kind of just got spat out the back there. Merlin, I would expect Merlin to think about putting in an attack to get some clear air at some point.
I completely agree with you. I got to say, come on, Christopher Dragon, get those butts moving, and Merlin will probably flop out just to clear their air very, very soon. Kodiak moving fast. They're going to be over on top of Wahoo's air anytime soon for any of the Kodiak fans watching.
So just to windward, we got two boats, dark-hulled boats there. Merlin is ahead with the black sails, and the gray sails, dark hulls, a Santa Cruz 52, which is a modern rendition of Merlin that was built probably, I'm going to guess, 15 years ago. Merlin is much older, but both are good boats. Both have that ultralight type of DNA.
Yeah, absolutely. Gosh, Merlin looks like a rocket ship for her age. I wouldn't even believe that, except for the fact that you've told me, John, and I completely trust you. Christopher Dragon has tacked over here, and you can see them right near the White Hawk. Oak Cliff is the Temptation there is in a really good spot.
Merlin there. Merlin's tacking now. They're going to wind it up, I guess, now and head out to the right. But yeah, definitely Kodiak took that start pretty well. It's driven over the top of Wahoo's a little shorter, but they're all going to have to tack soon because they gotta stay to the left of that red channel marker on their bow.
I'm glad Kodiak had a good start after we gave her so much talk up as well, just quietly.
Yeah, it's always, you never want to jinx them, but they gotta do well.
Yeah, absolutely. It's funny, as sailors, we're a superstitious lot. I got to say that it looks like Merlin's in a really nice lefty there. Yeah, I think we're going to see everybody flop over. That looks really, really good. We got Christopher Dragon right on our tail here, Celeste, if you want to have a look right down the bow of that beautiful boat. I do think it's a lovely looking yacht, and a shout out to anybody watching, because I know there'll be a bunch of Christopher Dragon fans watching. I'm not even going to look at the comments, I can guess, because they do have quite a following. So I'm sure they're going to have a better second 3 days, a better 3 days than they just had in their last 5 minutes. So there's still a very long way to go in this race for the fans that are watching. Oh wow, there's people speaking other languages in the comments. I'm really sorry, I can't reply except in English. Look at you go, you're having a break, sir. You come in to chat to me.
Can I give you just a little history on not the America's Cup, on the Bermuda Race.
Please do, sir.
1994, we had a boat called a Mum 36.
I love Mum 36.
This was the smallest boat in the race.
The smallest? Okay.
Smallest, and our fleet went up to maxi boats, which were 75, 80 foot.
Yeah.
We go into the weather briefing, and the fellow who was giving the talk sort of smiled at me and said, "I think you're going to like this race." So we take off, and the people really couldn't believe that we'd go to Bermuda in this small a boat. But as it turned out, the big boats, the maxi boats, lost the breeze as they had approached the island of Bermuda.
Oh my God.
We kept it all the way. And so we come into Hamilton Harbor after the race is over, and all the guys are there on the big boats with their cocktails, and all of a sudden they're dropping their cocktails because we weren't supposed to be there that fast. And we ended up winning the race. So that was a thrill for us.
Okay, so I knew you were the most overqualified media boat driver ever. I didn't know that we had amongst us a winner!
Well, it was great. Our boat name was Conspiracy, and we had 5 boats called Conspiracy because we never told our wives that another boat was coming. So it was a conspiracy against them.
A conspiracy against them, and I guess a bunch of those maxi boats thought that it was a conspiracy that you got in so fast the year that you did win. And what year was that again, sir?
1994.
1994. There you have it, guys. On board this very boat, our very overqualified media boat driver, past Commodore of the New York Yacht Club, and also America's Cup sailor, has also won the Newport Bermuda Race. Are there any other, little drop mic situations you want to give to us before the day continues, or are you just going to add them in when we need to pad out our commentary?
I'm out of stories now.
I think that's bollocks. You're definitely not out of stories. I'm going to get your phone number because when I need a story, I'm just going to call you. I think that's how long we're going to have stories coming out of this great man. What do you think, Summers?
Yeah, I think he's going to dole a little story out here and there through the rest of the afternoon to keep us on our toes.
In fact, I think that we can almost count on that. That's for sure. And maybe just over your shoulder, so we'll have a look. I can see Triple Lindy over there with the grey hull and the red stripe. That's another boat that's in Warrior 1 and Christopher Dragon and Triple Lindy Club Storm Trysail boats. We do love Storm Trysail, as well as the New York Yacht Club, obviously. And a shout out to everybody watching that's from the Cruising Club of America or the Bermuda Yacht Club, which is what this race is all about, is getting over to Bermuda. And I can't wait to get there, that's for sure. You can see a bunch of the larger boats getting ready to get away as we are up to start 11, I believe. Woohoo! Yeah. And in this start, we've got boats like Beneteau 423s, Tartan 4600s, Oyster 53s. It's the Finisterre division. We've moved on from the St. David's Lighthouse division, and we're on to the Finisterre division. And Finisterre, we were actually talking about that a little bit earlier. John Burnham was talking about Finisterre. It's a boat that has won this race 3 times in a row, I believe, he said. So that is probably why Finisterre now is one of the divisions and a trophy. So fantastic. As you can see there, still in centre of frame, Triple Lindy, Cell doing a great job. And I know that Aaron will be off somewhere getting some great footage as well. And stand by, guys. We will have a show every day for you, a live show every day at 1800 hours to keep you updated on what's happening with the action, unless something gets in the way of that, like a finish that we want to cover, because we will be covering the finishes live as well. So we'll be keeping you posted on that. Stay tuned to Adventures of a Sailor Girl and the Newport Bermuda Facebook pages to stay up to date on all the action, and of course bermudarace.com to stay tuned on the race. You can also head to the Yellow Brick Tracker as well to stay posted on all of your favourite boats, and even by Twitter. A lot of our boats are actually tweeting. 98 of the trackers have tweeting capability, and quite a few of them have taken up on that. So says Summers Kemp, the Oracle of Knowledge, who is just next to me now, and he did say that earlier on in the broadcast, and he's going to be wondering later if I'm going to be able to regurgitate everything that we've said today, word for word.
You're going to run out of words, right?
No, never. Never. I think my mum once said that I could talk underwater with a brick on my head and an apple in my mouth. Do you think that's correct?
Probably, yeah.
I tell you what, when I hit the wall, I hit it hard. But I'm on form today because look at all these boats. It's fantastic. 170 entries for those who may have just tuned in. The 112th year that this race has been held and the 51st edition. Apparently 1,500 competitors, Summers told me earlier. That's a lot of sailors. We're going to need a lot of Gosling's rum at the other end. Are you prepared for us, prior Commodore of the Royal Bermuda Yacht Club, Summers Kemp, and of course a shout out to Jonathan Corliss, the current Commodore of the Royal Bermuda Yacht Club?
Yeah, no, John's done a great job leading the team down there with the manager David Furtado. Shout out to them. They've got the club all ready. The Goslings is stacked in the basement, so I look forward to it's going to be a great week next week when the boats arrive, and the Friday night party is always a good time. So we'll see.
Friday night's the one I got to put in my diary.
But yeah, just pencil that one in.
Okay, copy. I'll pencil that one in, and anyone in the area, please be prepared for a mass of sailors and volunteers and, of course, amazing family members that hopefully are also heading to Bermuda to meet these competitors as they have an awesome party in Bermuda. I feel like that looks like
That's the 1 minute.
That's the 1 minute gun. Excellent. As we have a number one pennant and a first substitute signalling the start of 11. Then I went to heaven. I'm just rhyming now. Going random. Here we go.
Yeah,
fantastic.
is that
Yes. Talk to me, Summers.
Fio, I don't know where we're headed with the camera, but it's the red boat down there.
That red boat. Beautiful.
Yeah, young team on board that. They did an excellent job getting themselves registered, I will say. A lot of questions, but, they're doing a good job. They've actually, they've got a good bit of breeze where they are. Unfortunately, I think we've seen quite a drop in the pressure over the last 5 minutes, just when we're getting into the cruising division, and we're probably looking to get, we need more breeze for the heavier boats.
Absolutely, and there goes the gun. None of the boats are actually up on the line, but I've got to say that Checkmate 32708 and Olden 44, skippered by Frank Flores, is probably going to get the best start when these boats actually do get to the line. He is luffing a little bit to stay to windward of Bailiwick. Blue Jacket 40, skippered by Roger Eccles. That's USA 60575, the boat just to leeward of him, who did reach the line first. But I do think that Checkmate was away and with speed first and foremost. As we get into some of the bigger boats here, that's start 11 and a few red boats in this division. Look at all these red boats. It must be something about this class, I've got to say. 5, 2, and Blue Note is the boat right at Whitehawk now. Off she goes. Oh, maybe not. No, that's Bella. 52015. That's Bella. She is pretty too. A Sou'wester 52.
That's a Hinckley Sou'wester 52.
We do like Hinckley, don't we, at the Newport Bermuda Race?
Well, they're great boats, and they also sponsor the race. It's good.
I know, that was my segue. Come on, work with me, John. Work with me.
Yeah. Hinckley is. I think we covered that, didn't we?
Yeah, we have.
They covered this.
I was just doing a nice segue, and you are adorable. No, that was well done. This is one of those times where you actually do work out that these amazing gentlemen standing next to me, both John Burnham and Summers Kemp, have never commentated before. That's one of few times I've actually let it slip. No, they're absolutely fantastic.
11 classes, we're doing pretty good.
No, you guys are smashing it out. That's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, what are we meant to do here? Look at that. Look at them. They're just absolutely flying. The guys on Checkmate. They've definitely made a mark on this class as we see Bella tack over. Stunning she is. But look at that brand new headsail she's got on board.
Looks very nice. And there are quite a few. Well, there are a couple of these black sails. I think they're probably North 3DIs. North is a sponsor.
Well done, John Burnham. Good drop. Well done. North Sail shout out. I do, and that's why I do like the effort though that Dorade goes to have North Sails, but they're actually coloured to look older, because it does look a little bit funny when you see in a beautiful boat like Checkmate with that really, really modern 3DI sail, I've got to say. But yeah, Dorade, they have all their sails look old-fashioned, but they are actually North 3DI with the different colour.
I'll just tell you a little bit about Bailiwick, which is the boat just to windward Yep. It also tacked. That's a Blue Jacket 40, which it may look to some of you like a little bit like a tartan, and that's because it's the Tim Jacket, the designer, also designed most of the tartans in the last couple of decades. So Blue Jacket was a partnership between Island Packet Yachts and Tim Jacket, the tartan designer. And so here they are, great cruising jeans in that boat, and good to see it on its way to Bermuda.
Absolutely. And you know what? I actually really like this Bella so much, I think I'm going to have to take a photo of it.
Okay, Summers. She's taking a picture now. What do you think of the sail trim there on 52015?
Yeah, well, they're waving at us, so I guess that means we might be in the way. But I'm not really going to agree with them on that. It looks pretty good. I would trim it in a little bit further, but it's a long race. They'll have time for that.
The shrouds may be pretty far outboard on this boat, so they may not be able to get it in too much more.
Yeah, I think I'd pop off. I think they need a little bit more jib halyard tension, just quietly. That's all I'd do.
Okay, you heard it from Nic Douglass, Adventures of a Sailor Girl. She is actually a world-class sailor in her own right. She doesn't talk about that too often.
Thank you, John. I'm a world-class talker. What are you talking about? Yeah, look, they're laughing now and nodding. Yeah, great. If there was a world championship of talking, I'd have it down. But no, it is amazing to be out here. And that is a lovely-looking headsail. Congratulations, North Sails. I'd pull in that sheet, though, as well. That's really annoying me. That.
Yeah, I don't think they can bring it in any farther.
Dragging in the water. Yeah.
Oh, that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Is that what it is in American?
No, you were right. I was looking at the sail.
Sorry, no. I just want to get that line out of the water that's dragging. Does that annoy anybody else that's watching? It's a beautiful boat, going really fast, and just that line really annoyed me. Now they've got me thinking about trim and racing and all those things. I'd rather talk about how pretty they look, and then I don't get frustrated. This is Nic Douglass from Adventures of a Sailor Girl. If you've just joined us, we nearly lost Celeste overboard just then. Please hold on. You good? You all right? All right, good. She's here. She's working her butt off to make sure that she can keep that camera as stable as possible for you all who are working at home. Exactly. Her arms are going to be sore. I'm going to have to buy her a few drinks and then actually put them to her mouth for her later because she's been doing this all day.
Paper straw.
Yeah. Paper straws only. Right. But we're coming in to, I believe, Class 12. We're getting towards the end of all these starts, guys. And if you've been watching from the beginning, can you please let me know by putting a love heart on the comments now? Because if you have been watching since the beginning, you are amazing. And I'm really thankful to you for watching from the beginning. 4 minutes to go for Class 12. And Class 12, I think, is going to be one of my personal favourites. We've got Swan 55s. We've got Beneteau 473s. Hinkley 59s. Oh, Pescatore. What a glamour. Oyster 54. Grand Soleil 46.3. That's just a few of them, guys. And they all have names like Masquerade and Serena Bella and, Moon Shadow. This is going to be a pretty class, isn't it, Summers?
Yeah, no, this is going to be a good one. This is starting to get into the bigger cruising yachts. So a little bit more furniture on board. But I'm pretty sure maybe a few of these yachts probably are going to have warm cookies out of the oven. And, they're probably not going to suffer too much on the way down.
I was going to say, as sailors, food's really important to us. I mean, food's important to most people, but I find that most sailors are really attached to their beverages but also their food. And that is the amazing position that you're in when perhaps you go on a multi-hull as well. I did see that Arethusa seems to have a full kitchen with lounge chairs and cushions on board. I sort of looked at that and went, that looks quite nice actually. I think I quite like that. Maybe that's the allure of a gunboat as well as these larger cruising boats that, as you say, will have warm cookies. And I know that some people have lasagnas ready. That's just genius.
Yeah, well, I mean, I always went on a boat with my dad and his mates, and we really didn't suffer too much on the food front. We never went as far as the freeze-dried or anything like that. But, they would freeze lasagnas and, chicken casseroles and stuff, and then, they'd end up every night bringing one out, sticking it in the oven, and you'd end up with a good meal. And there's nothing like, the first night out when it's a little bit chilly, especially for Bermudians, north of the Gulf Stream, to have something warm in the bowl, and it perks you up a little bit, especially when you can go back down at 2 o'clock in the morning and finish it off.
So, what do they actually eat out of on these boats? You mentioned a bowl.
Yeah, well, we used to do bowls because things tended not to disappear off the edge as much, especially when it gets rough.
Yeah, I think a lot of boats just have plastic dog bowls, and they serve great food in fairly pedestrian type of silverware.
Yeah, I think that's the secret. If the guys that do the freeze dried and boil a bag stuff, that's I don't know, that's not my palate, so to speak.
I think I'm going to go with you there, Summers. I don't agree with you often. Just kidding, I agree with you a lot. But I'm definitely going to agree with you in terms of freeze-dried food. Do you know what? I think we're going to have a great dinner on shore tonight. That's the best bit about being us, even though the organising committee have been working their butts off up to this point, I've got to say. Here we go. 1 minute to go, and we're coming into the start of Division 12. We have Foxtrot, Scarlet, Masquerade, Serena, Bella. Let's get a little bit of a guesstimate. Moonshadow is the boat closest to us with that, I'm going to say, toothpaste green hull. Stunner. 60816 is Liberty Call, and Oyster 54. That's just to leeward of the beautiful sea green boat. I think 4-2. Oh, yeah, bowsprit boats coming in. 4-2. That is 8-2 maybe. Foxtrot down to leeward. They look like they're most punched to me. 707, 5077. Oh, the Hinkley 59 Pescatore. I think they're going to have a great start, actually. They don't have as much pace, though. They've got a bowman right out on the bow there. There we go. Boom. And that is the 12th division start. The Finisterre division. The first of the... I think that's the second of the Finisterre divisions, actually. 11... Yeah, Class 11 was the first of the Finistères. This is the second of the Finistères. And 110... Harlem, the Swan 55. They've nailed that start. What do you reckon, Summers?
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, it definitely has got pace. He won the boat end. I thought it was going to be a bowsprit boat, but he had enough pace to get around the front. There is a boat with not a lot of pace, 60816. I don't know who that is. But he's luffing the sails here a little bit around the bowsprit. Hopefully he gets around.
Absolutely. I hope he gets around. Now, I have to say that a big shout out to the bowman from that boat that did get away with the best start there. I think, did we say it was 110 Harlem, the Swan 55. Now, the bowman just then, I saw him as they've started and they've nailed the start. He's then run back and taken a picture of the whole team on board. Bit of a shout out to that bowman on board. That was a glamour. I want to see that photo, by the way, if anybody knows that guy on board. 55110. That was Harlem, the Swan 55. I want a copy of that photo. What a genius. Happy to go with that one. The next boat to win was windward was 946 Blue, the CNC 51, leading down to 707, which is Pescatore, the Hinkley 59, which I did say I think was in a really nice position. Well, we do have a few boats punched out to the port end here. Here's Defiance coming through. They're in the next start. The Swan 56, skippered by Peter Noonan. I love their crew shirts. What do you reckon?
Yeah, well, you know what? They've done a few Newport to Bermuda races.
Just a few? Not the same as, 20 or our winners that are on board. 1994. Jeez. That's not the dark ages. What a legend you are. I know that's our media boat driver who just happened to drop the bomb that he won this race in 1994. Love it.
Commodore George Hinman, for those of you who didn't recognize him earlier.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, no, George Hinman. I mean, he's my old mate now, so. No, George Hinman, what a legend. America's Cup sailor, former Commodore of the New York Yacht Club, winner of this race on board Conspiracy in 1994, which was the first in a series of apparently 4 or 5 boats. Don't tell their wives that all the boats are called Conspiracy, and he also happens to be our media boat driver today, exceptionally overqualified. So Thank you to George Hinman, thank you to Summers Kemp, and thank you to John Burnham for their expert commentary today. It's definitely bringing another level to this live stream than we ever thought possible, I'm telling you right now. Yeah. You're all laughing at me, but I'm actually serious. Dead serious. What start number are we on? We are on Class 12 has just gotten away, which is the 11th start, because Classes 2 and 3, the double-handed classes, actually went together. But if you want to go by classes, we're just coming into Class 13 now. Class 13 are the boats like Humphreys 77s, Hood 60s, Baltic 52s, a few names in this class that you might recognise. Odette, I've run into a few people from Odette this week. Defiance just came past us. I actually really love the name of this boat. Free range chicken. What the? Seriously. It's entertaining though, so hey, bonus points for making us laugh. Free range chicken. Serona. Who else have we got here? Bounty, the Swan 66. That's a nice boat. What's your favourite boat in this class, John?
In this class, well, the biggest one, Little Harbor 78 would have to be it. That's Hermie Louise.
Oh, I love it. There's also a ketch in this class. McCurdy and Rhodes ketch, a 66. That's a Selamat, so we'll keep our eye out for that. 266. That boat that I shouted out before and said, boat porn alert, they might be in this. They are. That's Bounty, the Swan 66. That was the one before where I totally forgot about the racing and just, yep. So they're actually racing. It's okay. I feel legitimate now. If you've just joined us, this is Nic Douglass for Adventures of a Sailor Girl, and this is the 51st Newport Bermuda Race, and it's fantastic to be out covering the start. You can watch here, you can watch on the Newport Bermuda Race stream as well, or on the website, and it's so fantastic to have you with us. Remember guys, the more you share this, the more people see it, and the better job we can do next time as well. So that's an important thing to note, so make sure you do that. And a big shout out to my team who are working their butts off to make sure that we've got a show to bring to you live every day at 1800 hours. And if you've seen some of the quality of the work that they're punching out at the moment, it's pretty good to watch, so keep an eye out for that. As we head back towards the start line, and I'm going to keep my back turned towards those angry-looking clouds over to the west of us. I don't like them at all. Just over my head, Sel. We've only got how many starts to get through? Up to 13. We've got 4 more. 4 more, guys. We're going to get through this without rain. What do you reckon?
I think those clouds aren't coming anytime soon.
Yeah, baby. We're not getting rained on. It's not happening. Thanks. Beep, beep, beep. Thank you, no rain. As we go back to the start, we have gotten within are we within 4 minutes yet? I don't even think we're within 4 minutes yet. Almost 4 minutes to go for Division 13, which may be one of my other favourites. Every time we start, I'm like, I think this one will be my favourite start. No, this one will be my favourite start. Mort moment. I loved them before I knew them. It's gotten really light on the where, Summers?
Yeah, on the east side over there. It's got really light over there. We've got a little bit more pressure over here to the right, but it looks to be a little bit of a right shift as you get down the course. So it is good to see the boats that have started earlier in the earlier starts, that there still seems to be pressure out there. They're not, that I can see a couple masts, rigs leaning over in the far distance. So it looks to be like they're holding pressure the further they get offshore. So that's a good sign.
That is a really good sign, because we were concerned that there would be less breeze than this. I mean, a few people have commented that they're sorry about the wind, guys. We're sorry about the wind, guys. But then, we've all seen it worse than this, haven't we?
We're just glad to have what we have. I mean, we've had enough for the boats to get away in good order, safely. And what do we have? 4 to 7 knots, probably more 5, 6 most of the time. And it's interesting. I'm sure you can't see it on the camera. Maybe you can. You can see the boats way down the course that have gone ahead and tacked to starboard and are heading down more easterly. What do you think, Summers? Do you think there'll be any big shift to the southwest, or do you think this is the breeze they've got for a while?
Yeah, I think this is the breeze they got for a while, headed on into the night, personally. Nothing really kind of thermal, no thermal really kind of got started today. So I think this is what they got for most of the night before it starts to go right on them.
Well, you guys definitely know a lot more than me about the longer-term strategy. We've got more than a minute to go now, and quite an early lineup with the Class 13 division, I think this might be the start where we actually see a few too many people over early. Gosh, they're early.
We got a couple Spanish-speaking boats.
Spanish-speaking boats in here, you say?
Yeah, they're from Chile and from Spain. So, I think Ocean Phoenix is a large one just off the bow of the committee boat, and it looks like they're starting to realize that they're a bowsprit candidate. So they're starting to head back into Newport at the moment. The breeze has gotten very, very light, and just underneath them, the dark hull is Howie Hodgson's True, USA 22. So he's a great guy. He's a yacht club member, so he's headed down to the yacht club to grab a nice dark and stormy beverage from his home club. And there's a Cayman Island registered boat in this one. Here comes Endurance, which has got a Chilean crew on it. They were fantastic to work with, even though the language barrier was there all through the week. But it looks like a lot of the big boats are headed upstream, as I would say. That's the 1 minute, so I think they're all realizing they're early, and this current is really starting to rip.
Maybe not so many professional tacticians on board the cookie warming boats.
Yeah, maybe that might be the secret. More cookies, less tactics. Yeah.
And that might be why we've seen these guys all punch early. That's definitely the most enthused fleet that we've seen, I've got to say.
Hermie Louise, which is kind of just behind this press boat in front of us, large tall rig 32872. Looks like they might have timed this all right, although no, he's pulling off. Big dial down by him. Yeah. No, they're anxious. They're anxious.
They are definitely anxious, and in frame there we can see our amazing videographer, Aaron. He's right in the way of the live stream, so he'll be getting some great footage, which is fantastic. Just going to come in and help you, gorgeous. There you go. Yep, free range chicken, boom, and they're away. All good. Then they're away for the 13th class, and they're part of the Finisterre division. I've got to say that the best start's probably gone to the middle end of the line. And I'm going to give a shout out again to Bounty, the Swan 66, skippered by Peter Todd, because I just think it's so good looking. But the most windward boat, the Italians, I think, Sola, the Baltic 52, they're most punched right now, and they're getting away without too much trouble. Gosh, there's some big boats in there.
That's a short line for a lot of big boats. Yeah, they all got away safe, though. Everyone's away safe. Didn't hear any screaming, so that class did a good job.
They did do a good job, and that's fantastic to see. I'm just going to give Sal a little bit of a backup here, and can you talk me through perhaps the difference between the Finisterre division and the St. David's Lighthouse division for those who may not know any better?
Yeah, so the St. David's Lighthouse division is amateur, as is the Finisterre division. The St. David's Lighthouse has to do with not non-cruising type boats. So these boats are allowed to use their autopilots in the cruising division, and they don't have any sort of traditional spinnakers on board. They can tack an asymmetric to the center line. So that's a difference in the St. David's Lighthouse. But this next class that we're going to see is the first of the Gibbs Hill, I believe. And, of course, the Gibbs Hill Lighthouse division is where the pros go. And this is where we're going to start seeing some fast boats.
Yeah, definitely some fast boats getting ready behind us, that's for sure. Not to say that some of these other more cruisy type boats can't have their moments. What do you reckon, Summers?
Yeah, they definitely can have their moments.
Their moments.
Yeah. Definitely, yeah. Sometimes you want to go to sea in a nice, solidly built cruising boat that has hot cookies coming out of the oven.
Sounds good to me. I'm not quite sure if I could handle eating cookies while at sea, though. I think I'd feel a little bit, how do you say, fake? Is that right? I don't know. I mean, I'm such a racer. I just think I'd feel wrong. What's that? Imposter. I'd feel like an imposter. That's the word I'm looking for.
Yeah, so that cruising division class is headed up to the left. Not many boats have tacked over. They're all pushing out to that left-hand side, which is interesting because from my eye it looks to be a lot less breeze up there on the left than what we're sitting in over here on the right. But obviously maybe they know something that we don't. Who we got coming this way? 51104. Windwalker right off our stern. That's a lot of varnish work.
It's a custom Ted Hood 60, and his son is sailing on board, along with some friends of his. They're part of the crew. Actually, two of his sons, Bob Hood and Ted Hood, are both on the boat, and the boat is owned by Daniel Lavangi. What a beautiful set of sails on that boat.
Yeah, they definitely, he's got her going. He's got a good bow wave on it. I feel this, he's in the breeze and pressure on this right-hand side coming off the line. And driving it with 2 fingers. So, yeah, they're looking good early.
That's an absolute glamour. I just had to take a picture, people. Don't mind me. And I'm also just having a little bit of a look at your comments on Facebook. We had a little moment there where we had a little bit of a down in signal, but we've come good. And Jonathan Bruin is loving it. Jonathan Bruin, who is the chairman of the Bermuda Race Committee, he's loving your commentary. Doesn't like mine at all, but no, I'm just kidding. No, he reckons you're doing a great job, boys. So a shout out to Summers again and John over my shoulder for doing a fantastic job, and it's great to see. Just having a little bit of a look at the people that are watching. Hello to Martha Parker. She's having a little bit of a look. Best line of the day, says Steve Musicant. Nick can talk underwater with a brick on her head and an apple in her mouth. Yeah, that's standard. Anyway, Jonathan Bruin. Yep, John B, you're a legend. See, look, it's all about the John Bs in this race, by the way. There's been a standard joke in the past few months leading into this race because I'm calling into teleconferences from all around the world. And there's, just try and deal with me here. We'll understand my pain. There's Jonathan Bruin, Jonathan Burnham, Jonathan Corliss, and there's John Osmond, like all the Johns. John Winder, yeah, and I'm meeting all these Johns on teleconferences with no face. If you need an answer, just ask a John, says Summers. Exactly, like so many Johns. Oh my gosh, we had a little bit on. Hi, John Bruin. He's watching every second. Hello there, gorgeous. See, look, he's watching. As I have a little bit of a look to the comments. So great to have you all with us as we head back for the first start in the Gibbs Hill Lighthouse Division with my amazing commentary team, George, Summers, and a John. It wouldn't be right if we didn't have a John on the commentary team after everything.
So we got 3 Oakcliff boats.
3 Oakcliff boats in this next division. Great little bit of an analysis there from John Burnham. All far 40s. I like far 40s. Far 40s are great. Fantastic little boats. Got a few J's in there as well. Just going to have a little bit of a look-see. Where are we up to? 14. So we've got a Class 40, a Martin 49, a Santa Cruz 52, Far 40 Turbo, Lombard 46, 2 more Far 40 Turbos. They're all Oakcliff, not fun, not surprisingly. J120s, Custom and XP44, and Apollo, the J121. If we can get the lovely Celeste to peel around here. Oh, let's just have a little bit of a look at Proteus, a little bit of boat porn. Oh, look, guys, there's Rambler along the shore, the R88. And we've got Spooky, the TP52, coming straight at us, tacking now. Oh, the boat porn's coming out. I mean, there's boat porns for all people, aren't there? I mean, I just love everything. I mean, I still reckon that Swan 55, Bounty, she was called, was a bit of a glamour. How good was Black Magic? Black Magic, 80th anniversary of this race this year. The S&S 60-something we worked out. Black Watch, is it? Oh, I'm going with Black Magic because it looked magical. Is that okay?
It's fine.
I've renamed it.
After 80 years, it's time for a new name.
I'm sorry, everybody who's Black Watch fans, but it did look magic, so I've gone with Black Magic. No, Black Watch, stunner.
It actually was Edlu 2, and it was first launched by Rudy Schaefer of Schaefer Brewing fame.
Okay. See, I've got all of the knowledge on this boat. I'm going to get these two people to write a book one day, and it's going to be incredible. Not to mention the guy up on the wheel up there, George. He could write 3 books, I reckon. There's a little bit in his head, I've got to say. Now I'm just going to try and call this start in. Yeah, that's our Russians. Alexander Vodavatov on Patanegra. They've chartered the Lombard 46. And a big shout out to them because they gave me a box of chocolates this week to thank me for all the help I gave them during the Sydney Hobart. Not last year, but the year before, and they hadn't seen me since, so that was very cute. I've got a box of Russian chocolates in my room, and I think we're going to eat them tonight when we drink some red wine. What do you reckon, guys?
Is there vodka in the chocolate?
Will you help me eat them if there is or isn't?
Well, I'll definitely taste one.
Okay, cool. I guess it doesn't matter either way then, which is good to hear.
Russians are known for their chocolate, right?
Yeah, apparently so. So I'm pretty excited, and I think it's nice of the Oak Cliff boats here to all put that yellow regatta symbol on their sails. So for those who are watching from Oak Cliff, it looks like they're all the supercharged Far 40s from my eyeball, and they all look like that regatta symbol. If for anyone watching from Oak Cliff, they're your Oak Cliff boats. So that's very, very handy of them to do that for us. Keeping an eye out now. 2-0. That's 1 minute to go. Westerly, the Santa Cruz 52, is the most pin-end boat. They're luffing up now on 4-8, I think. 4-6-5-7. That is Oak Cliff Far 40 Red, skippered by Sean O'Halloran. Looks like a right-hand shift to me now. Then we've got 37, bow 37. That's the Class 40. First Light is just off their hip. So I actually think this 4-6-6-9 is going to have a good one. The Russians?
Yeah, they're looking to be bowsprit contenders. But they got pace, so that's good. Yeah, it's somebody, Apollo, tacking.
Yeah. Oh, well.
Tacking.
Luffing,
yeah. He's early. He thinks he's early.
I don't think he's early. I actually think the Russians are in a good spot here. Oh, nope, they're luffing too. Uh-oh. Oh, no, they're going to have to tack there. That's the gun, and the best start goes to First Light. The Class 40 First Light is away. Boom, right at the boat. Gosh, that square top's almost obnoxious.
Yeah, it's like Aussie skiff action.
Looks like an 18-foot skiff, mate, so I reckon they've stolen that one from, like, Big Fella or something. I'm not sure. Shout out to everybody back in Aussie.
That fathead sail may be really useful in the light airs to come.
Yeah, good point there, JB. A really nice small headsail there. And the other boat that had a really good start was Westerly, the Santa Cruz. That's the boat with the red sail numbers you can see just off the stern now of First Light. So well done to all those teams. Here come the Russians. They've managed to get around the boat before Apollo, in fact. Oh, no, they haven't. These are the Russians here. Patanegra. Still trying to get around. There. Patanegra. Apollo's managed to get around. And the Class 40s, let's just say 2 out of the 3 have done well. That's pretty good odds for Oak Cliff. 2 out of 3 good starts. Well done. 5-1-6-9-5. Probably in the better position of the 2, and that is Oak Cliff Far 40 Black, skippered by Jorge Antonio Madan Ruiz. And the other one that's had a good start there is Oak Cliff Far 40 Red, one of the boats that I thought had set themselves up really well, Sean O'Halloran. So well done to that division. Oh my gosh, Sal, just peel your eyes away from that. Come on, look at this. Hello. Hello, pretties. Right, you can go back over there now. You're welcome. Big shout outs to everyone at the moment in the comments section. Well done to Jonathan, Bruin and team. So that's really great to hear. I think the Bermuda Race Organising Committee have done fantastic. Wizard, Rambler, Proteus, what more could you want? Looking very, very pretty, that's for sure. Oh, yeah, Wizard does have someone up the rig. You know what? I think Wizard will probably leave someone up the rig for the start just to keep an eye out for pressure. What do you think, Summers?
Yeah, probably. It's definitely starting to look patchy up the course a little bit. I'm not too worried. These guys are definitely going to get off and away, and that's going to let us go back in and have that red wine and a dinner.
Yes, and Russian chocolates.
And Russian chocolates that may or may not have vodka in them. But
You got to watch the whole broadcast, people, to understand what the hell we're talking about.
yeah, Nic's going to fill you all in later. She's going to live stream the chocolate box opening.
I can live stream anything. No, just kidding. No. So for those who may have just joined us, we are here. There's Sonrisa, beautiful views, thanks to our camera woman, Celeste. We are here for the 51st edition of the Newport Bermuda Race. It is the 112th year. We're coming into the 15th start, I believe, for 15th class, which is our 14th start for today, which might explain why we now have some in-jokes. So yes, you will have to watch back the entire footage later, which will be uploaded in 4K footage, guys, by the way. So you'll be able to watch it in HD to your heart's content. Good luck to your bandwidth. And we're very excited to come into the 15th, Class 15, guys. This is going to be amazing. I'm pretty excited for this one. We have Warrior. We have Rambler 88. We have Wizard, Proteus, Young American Gambler, Dravit Syndrome, Spooky, Privateer, White Rhino 2, Black Pearl, Triple Lindy, Go the Cookson 50, and Dream Crusher. So we've got Volvo 70s. We've got Maxi 72s. We've got Cookson 50s, and Privateer does have a cannon keel, whereas Triple Lindy doesn't, just for those who might be watching. Kernan 47s, Car Keek 47s, TP 52s. It's all on. Gotta love the Grand Prix stuff. This is what we're talking about. Wizard has somebody up the mast, as Summers mentioned just before. They'll probably leave someone up there just to keep spotting. Oh my gosh, guys, look at this. Look at this, look at this. This is how cold it's just gotten. Can you see that? Sorry, okay. Back to the racing. Yes, and as I was mentioning before we got into the 15th start, the 15th class actually, it's our 14th start. We have 17 classes to get away today. Well, I'll recap quickly for you. Elvis had a great start in the multis. We also saw great starts from a variety of people, and you'll have to watch back. And we do have a personal joke at the moment because the tide is rushing out, that if you take the boat end position, that is called the bowsprit position. We have seen a few people in precarious positions on that bowsprit, none more so than Selkie, who actually got herself wrapped round the bowsprit on board the beautiful White Hawk. We were on board White Hawk earlier as well, and we spoke to Claire, and that was lovely. She's working with her team from the New York Yacht Club to get all of these races away, and they're doing a fantastic job. So we'll have that interview up later, probably at 1800 hours when we do our live show. We'll have the interview with Claire. Oh, hello, Rambler. Sorry, she's just opened up her code 0. That's glamour. Can we get in any closer? Let's get in there. We're going to try, guys. We're going to push the lines here. I mean, you know, it's not that long until they kick us out anyway, right? So let's just see if we can get in there. We've got a few serious marshals, but you should have seen, if you watch back the footage, guys, as soon as the gun went for the first warning signal, and we were up next to the boat to show you the gun, it was like, bang! Get out of here! Ah! Anyway, they're doing their job, and if we do the wrong thing, then everybody wants to do the wrong thing, so we've got to lead by example. As we do with paper straws and reusing our plastic cups, hey, Summers?
Yep, protecting the environment. So,
We're all about it. It's cool to be cool.
yep, definitely cool to be cool.
I love it. I think I'm going to have to post a video later of me rocking out with Summer's kids in the back of the car, which is also one of my finer moments in Bermuda. Check out these boats. There's the Young American Gambler, Rambler, passing to leeward. You can't miss her. And unless something goes majorly wrong, Rambler 88 is going to have probably the fastest ride to Bermuda, I would say.
They have to be the favorites. Yeah. They were the record holder 4 years ago, before Comanche broke their record 2 years ago. But it certainly have the track record. Just want to say briefly about Young American. Young American Gambler is a youth team with a few adult advisors on it. Yeah. It's mostly college-age sailors, and the core of that team sailed High Noon 2 years ago. They were the second boat to finish behind Comanche and finished second in the St. David's Lighthouse Division.
Oh gosh, that's fantastic to hear. And can I just give a shout out here to Warrior, the Volvo 70. If you can just get that colourful sail, guys, on the right of screen. Can you see that camper? That is the old camper, the original Code 0 that went with that Volvo 70 when it was camper in the Volvo Ocean Race. That's quite a little bit of sailing nerd out nerding out here. That's very awesome. Quite excited. White Rhino is most to windward. Triple Lindy is the other dark sails with the red dude on the bow. I'm going to go with red dude. That's the easiest way to say it. Proteus coming back from the starboard end. This is going to be the start of all starts, guys. Not to say that the others haven't been pretty. We can expect these guys to all be on the line. That's the difference often between the cruising divisions and the, I'm going to go with Grand Prix or professional divisions. What do you reckon, Summers?
Yeah, I would expect these guys all to be on the line going at max speed. It's not a long line, though, and these guys are pretty big. Rambler's way out on the left, or camera left, so way on the right-hand side looking upwind. And, he's turned around. He's on starboard now, but it looks like he's luffing a little bit. He might.
He's negative canted.
Yeah, computer must be telling him that he's going to be early, so they're slowing it down.
So by negative cant, I mean they've actually brought their keel to the wrong side of the boat to slow them down. It gives them additional drag, essentially.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting. They're going to be working hard pulling that big headsail back in. They're going for it now. Everybody's working.
Yeah, and just coming into the minute gun now, not long to go for the Class 15 here at the Newport Bermuda Race, the 51st edition. Just going to call you in from the left-hand side of your camera or the right-hand side boat end of the line. That's 1 minute to go. We've got Rambler 88. We've got Privateer. Down to leeward, we've got... Pardon? Gervais Syndrome. Thank you so much. Coming up to leeward, we've got Warrior with the Kempe headsail there. Wizard as we swing. Just come to the right of screen for me. Sell, there we go. We've got Triple Lindy. 5009 is, or 8 is, that's actually Privateer. Then we've got Spooky. Most is just punching out there. Most to leeward almost. Wizard coming in fast.
Young American.
That's Young American Gambler, and Spooky's got the black stripe. There we go. We're just trying to see as much as we can for you guys. Rambler is coming in hot now. Which way are we going to peel? We're going to right? Yep, okay. Just making sure we've got Cell in the right position for you guys. Yeah, I know. I wish the weather was more cooperative too, guys, but look how good this is going to be. Bang! Ooh, the best start goes to Spooky for sure. They've nailed it. Proteus just to leeward. Wizard's coming through. So Spooky, Proteus, Wizard, Privateer, Germany 7007. Look at Rambler's going to be the bowsprit boat. Rambler coming. Oh, unbelievable, guys. That's incredible. Oh, Germany, Black Pearl is most closest to the camera there. Here comes Rambler. Oh, my gosh. They're just spearing through the fleet. How good is that, guys? Oh, wow. Was that worth waiting for or what? Oh.
Yeah, I don't think many of the guys on these little boats to windward of Rambler are actually looking at their telltales much. Yeah. They're watching her streak through to leeward of them.
See you later. Gervais Syndrome, unfortunately, have had a not so average start. Below average. Below par, we're going to go with. So they've had a bogey. A bogey? I'm going to Bermuda, so I've got to get ready for my golfing terms.
I think I'd prefer to be on Gervais Syndrome right now than have had Rambler go by 6 feet away.
Yeah, that might scare you. They're also going to sail over the top of Spooky as well, guys. Oh, unbelievable. There they go. The faster of the fast boats. And this is Dream Crusher, the Kernan 47. Whoa. Kieran Searle's steering. He's an Aussie. Shout out to Cecil on the helm there. Didn't know he was doing this race. But there you go. He's actually not steering at the moment. He's on main trim. I can see him there on main trim. Dream Crusher. Yeah, oh no. Yeah, Rambler's just managed to roll everybody there, and poor Warrior's going to have to put in attack. And out comes that beautiful camper, code 0. It's an upwind code 0. It is a monster, isn't it? Unbelievable. Triple Lindy and Dream Crusher will cross Triple Lindy here. Dream Crusher, the Kernan 47, still in front of the Cookson 50 Triple Lindy. I actually think Triple Lindy's going to do quite well on rating as well. A non-canting keel gives them quite a few bonus points, essentially, is how we look at it.
Spooky's bailing out underneath Rambler there. The gas mask obviously got dropped on them.
Gas mask. I love that. I've never heard that before. But yes, they're peeling out onto port.
Got Dravet syndrome behind you here.
Yeah. We're going to try and get out of the way of Dravet syndrome. It's just below us. Proteus is looking like they're still managing to breathe from Rambler and they're in a little bit of a right pressure. All these boats now in a bit of a right pressure. You can see them lifting up, and Dream Crusher's getting the best of it at the moment and managed to not get any dirty air from Rambler, so that'll be good for them. And here's Dravet syndrome, the guys that had a bit of a bogey on that last start, but they are away now, and good on them. And Dawn Riley is just to leeward them. She's looking a little bit chilly, as we all are.
Yeah, that's the old numbers, isn't it? Yeah, there you go. So that boat's been in the Newport race a number of times. Good hull. So that should be good fun for them.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, as we've said many times today, a bad start doesn't mean a bad race. And they're actually on the favoured side of the course at the moment. It is a right-hand phase at the moment, and they've gotten themselves into that. They're still in touch here with Warrior, even though Warrior had a better start. Rambler's parked it after their tack. They've tacked onto port to get back into this right line of pressure. Yeah, Dreamcatcher's looking fantastic in that right pressure. As I said, this is quite cloud affected at the moment, guys. If you can just pan a little bit to the right, just quickly, brief pan. See this cloud now, guys? This is now where the wind is coming from on this right-hand side of the course. And now we'll come back to these guys. Dravet syndrome, even though they've had a bad start, and I called it a bogey, it might actually be a glamour now that they've managed to get away from the boat. They're going to cross White Rhino and almost be in touch with Wizard, another Volvo 70, previously known as Giacomo and Hobart winner in 2016 on IRC. 2016? 2017? Yes, 2016. No, yes, I'm correct. Got it. Shouldn't doubt myself.
Yeah, it's definitely rain.
Yeah.
Right.
That's why it's going cold. As soon as there's rain in a cloud, guys, we talk about it actually pushing air down and out from the cloud once there's rain in it. So these guys are making their way towards that pressure. And that's why we can see Rambler 88 coming back now. I mean, we've got Stan Honey, Brad Butterworth. They're all on board that boat and they know what they're doing. Richard Clark on board here on Wizard. I mean, a bunch of hot shots in there as well. Maxi, all those guys. So, yeah, they're all pushing to this right-hand side of the course now. Not sure what Proteus is doing. They've got no pressure off our bow. Everyone on the left-hand side is basically crapped out now. Those poor guys on the youth boat are not really in anything. Yeah. See you later. See you later, Dream Crusher. What a glamour. Good start, good pressure. And Rambler's now having to overtake boats that they've already overtaken.
And Dravet syndrome ended up crossing just a few boat lengths behind Rambler.
Yeah.
What do you make of that?
I'd say that it shows how favoured that right-hand side of the course is. And I'm going to have to take a step back on my bogey comment from earlier, which I've already taken one step back. Now I'm going to take 2 steps back. Now, I'm not sure if they planned on that happening. I'm sure they would have rather started fast at the boat and gotten in the right-hand pressure. What do you reckon, Summers?
Yeah, but if you're a fast boat and you go the wrong direction, it doesn't make a difference.
That is very correct. And here we have someone still up the mast on board Wizard. You may just be able to see that.
Rambler attacking behind Camper there. Rambler behind Camper doing attack.
Warrior or Camper, Rambler tacking over. Wizard, that'll probably be Mitch White up the mast. I'm not certain, but it probably is Mitch White up there. Shout out to him. Rambler tacking over. Beautiful tack. That's a much better tack than their first one, probably because they've got a lot more breeze. This is the most breeze we've seen all day, guys, and it is freezing. There's quite a bit of rain over there as well. And you know what the best news is? We have 2 classes to go, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, we have been live now for about 100 hours. Just kidding. Probably about 2.5 hours we've been live here with you all for the Newport Bermuda Race. We've had various people watching at various times, and thank you for coming in and out. And for those who have been keeping us on the computer whilst they've been doing other things all day, that's also quite important too. There goes the German boat. Black Pearl. They had a pretty good start at the boat end, and they've managed to play this right-hand side of the course. I think they're going to find themselves in line probably with some of the bigger boats as they come back, including the Young American Gambler when they peel back onto the starboard tack. Oh, poor Warrior now is copping a little bit of, what did you say, Summers? I'm going to go with your call because that's my favourite.
The gas masks are starting to drop on board.
Oh, yeah. The Rambler gas mask. Here it comes down on Warrior with that camper. Yeah, hi, Martha Parker. Yeah, go Young American Gambler. I'm sure they're going to come good. There's a definite line of pressure again now on the outskirts of that cloud, so everybody just trying to stay in touch with this now. And I think, guys, we're about 10 minutes away from rain. We're probably just going to get these starts in before it actually starts to pour down. So we'll see how we go. Still plenty of helicopters. And how long to go to our next start, guys? Because we definitely don't want to miss that. Got a couple of minutes. So we'll stick with these guys now. I'm just going to hold on to your cell. Yeah, we're going to hang around to the right. You're shivering. Come on. Let's go to this side as we tacking. Awesome. Good job. That's what we call a tack, Cell. Nice. Good job. First tack ever. How did that feel?
Pretty good. Pretty good.
I'm going to teach you how to sail in Bermuda, guys. Watch out. I'm going to teach Aaron and Celeste, my left and right hand, in no particular order, how to sail in Bermuda. You heard it here first. And guess what? I'll probably live stream it. Just kidding. No. Just lots of GoPros because Cell won't ever let that footage be seen.
Never ever.
Never ever, she says. Yeah, we can go a little faster. I've got her. Yeah, we're going to go a little faster and stay with the Young American Gambler here. I'm holding on to Cell and we're keeping warm at the same time. Brody is still heading out to the left, the only boat to be doing so. Yeah, they've not taken one tack, so they're confident that they're going to be able to get onto the edge of this cloud. I guess the rain is going to get to you at some point. Rambler also coming back to the left. Meanwhile, Spooky still heading out to the right-hand side of the course. Black Pearl tacking over now. We're just going a little bit faster, guys. Sorry, it's going to be bumpy. Just making our way back to the start so that we can catch that for you. Wizard unfurling their masthead code 0. They also have a jib top up inside their masthead code 0 just over off the point over here. So we've got 3 sails up on Wizard. Yeah, that's Wizard. They've got 3 sails up. They've got a masthead 0 as well as a little jib top.
There goes the gun for the next start.
Okay, so we've just had a gun for the next start, which is the 1 minute. No? Go? All right. So we're going to come back, guys, now for the Class 16, which is the open division. We've got Maverick and we've got Kiwi Spirit 2. You may have seen a lot of press about Maverick, and Cell's doing a great job to hang on here. We wanted to stay with that class for as long as possible. We do only have 2 in the open. Now, the open division is a little bit different again. So we've had through 3 different divisions so far. We've had the St. David's, which is for your amateur classes. You've got the Finisterre, which is more for the cruising classes. And then you have the Gibbs Hill Lighthouse, which is for the more professional classes. And we've just seen those guys head off now. So we're coming into the open classes, which is for development style boats, and it's quite difficult to actually give them accurate handicaps when they're changing so many things on their boats all the time. We've got Maverick, who has DSS foils, the only monohull with DSS foils in the race, as we peel around now, and we'll see her there with the Great Britain on her sail. And the other boat in this division is Kiwi Spirit 2, which is just down to leeward there. We did speak to Quinton, or Q as he's more commonly known. He lives in Sydney at the moment, actually, but he is from Great Britain. He has quite a few Aussies on board: Steve Thomas, James Corey. I met him a few years ago, actually, when he did the Fastnet. But he now resides in Aussie and is sailing an MC38 a lot of the time. You can see the DSS just near the number 49 on the boat there. That is their foil, but They did say yesterday that they don't think they'll be using them until a little bit closer to Bermuda, potentially. You can see they're quite fast, though, as well. They did have an issue with their jib foil, but they've managed to sort it out, so that's great to see. And Kiwi Spirit 2 is a Finot Conch 53, owned by Stony Paris. So they're the 2 boats in the open division. And you know what, guys? We have 1 start left. Can we have a little dance party? 1 start left, 1 start left, 1 start left, 1 start left, 1 start left. This is also keeping me warm, by the way. Back to Maverick. If you've just joined us, this is Nic Douglass for Adventures of a Sailor Girl. Yeah, we're setting up for attack on board Maverick here. We'll stay with them. We have some amazing footage. We put up our interview with Maverick last night. We had some amazing heli footage of them absolutely smoking in 20 knots of breeze, probably doing about 30 knots of boat speed. That's very different to now. Very, very different to now. Oh, look at them going sideways. I just heard you, John, comment on that as well.
They must have some skinny foils that take a little while to get the flow attached. But it looks like they're going now.
It's almost like a what are they called, the fast 40s. They've got. I'm not sure if you've ever seen the fast 40 class sail, but they almost do the same thing out of attack. Very little grab on their keel, so to speak. And we're going to stay with Maverick right here as they come past us. Awesome action here, and not long to go. If you have just joined us, you've missed a lot of action. We've been live for about 2.5 hours. There's James Corey to leeward and also Steve Thomas just grinding on the mainsail. They were both on board Ichiban, the winners of the Sydney Hobart boat on IRC. Hey, Jimmy. Good luck, guys. There's Stevie on the main. See you, boys. Know a few people on board that boat. Yeah, so they're going to have a great ride. I've no doubt in that whatsoever. Yeah, but as I was saying, if you just joined us, we've been live for, I can't quite work it out from our live feed that we've got here, but I think it's almost 3 hours now. So you will have to watch back if you want to catch any of the action. There's helicopters everywhere as well. We will have plenty of photos up over the afternoon. We'll have our own live show at 1800 hours recapping just what went down at the start and where the track is at. We're also going to drop into the communications centre, and a shout out to McNally and his team at the moment because they'll already be under the pump with calls coming in about where the boats are at, talking to the Coast Guard and making sure that everything's set for these boats as they now head on the 635 nautical miles from Newport, Rhode Island all the way to Bermuda, and we will join them tomorrow but by plane. Woohoo! And we'll see them at the other end. And guys, we will be live for a bunch of finishes and 1800 hours each day, which will also be in Bermuda. So for you guys that are here on the east coast of the US, that'll be 1700 hours your time for the live show. So we're going to stick to 1800 wherever we are because that's just a nice time of day for us, given the content. So we'll be keeping you posted. Remember, BermudaRace.com is where it's all at. That's where it all comes together. At Bermuda Race on Facebook and on Twitter. BDA Race on Twitter. At Bermuda Race on Instagram and Twitter. And of course, you can follow Adventures of a Sailor Girl, which is at Sailor Girl HQ on all your social media channels. It's our pleasure to be out here freezing our little hands off. I won't say any other parts of the body to keep you posted. Thank you, Jonathan Bruin. One more start to go from on board the beautiful White Hawk. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. Yeah. I'm going to be warmer when we get to Bermuda.
You will be warm when you get to Bermuda. That's a great song, actually. Sorry, I love to bring songs into my life. I feel good. Da-na-na-na. You've got the sunnies, mate. You've got the sunnies. Yeah, super yacht start. Talk to me about the super yachts.
Well, this is the first time we've had super yachts racing. The biggest boat that had raced before is a 100-footer. Comanche was 100, and I think Speedboat was a 100-footer before that. So now we've got a 110 and 112-footer. These are not as high-performance boats. Yeah. They are more luxurious, beautiful boats, and we're going to get a pretty good look at them pretty soon, I think.
So we've got two firsts for this race, basically, multis and super yachts.
Exactly. And Sailor Girl.
3 firsts. Thanks, John Burnham. Oh, it's awesome. We might get Celeste to flick around and show us some of these beautiful boats that are lining up. Oh my gosh. I mean, we saw Aurelius earlier, and I thought she was a spectator boat. You thought that Bounty, my favourite, was a spectator boat, and you look, what? Yeah.
What do I know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, look at it. They're going to race that to Bermuda. I mean, but who wouldn't want to be in Bermuda on that thing? What do you reckon, Summers? You're a Bermudian.
Yeah, you could live on board that quite comfortably. Yeah, the other boats were pulling cookies out of the oven. I think you're going to get fresh bread on some of those.
And they've probably got 20 people downstairs and only a few on deck. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I think there's, everybody's got a few fingers, so they can all push a few buttons. So yeah, no, they're definitely gorgeous boats, yachts. It'd be great to see them pulling into the harbor.
Oh, absolutely. Now this is going to be just fantastic. And not just because it's the last start of the day.
I think when they get closer to Bermuda on the other side of the Gulf Stream, the air conditioning is going to come in handy too. Wouldn't you think?
Oh, I didn't even consider that.
Nice hot showers. Yeah.
When would these guys be expected to get to Bermuda? Any ideas on an ETA?
Yeah, I'm unsure on that. I didn't.
Will they make it for Prezzo, or as you guys say, that was really great English, Nic Douglass. As you gentlemen say, the official prize giving, Aussies we call it Prezzo.
Absolutely, they'll be there for the Prezzo.
I'm going to change your English. I'm working on it. It's fantastic. George has been very quiet for the last little while.
Should be a good start here.
Yeah, oh, he's keen on this good start. Hang on, I've got to take this mic over to George. George is going to tell me a little bit about this. Come on, George. Come and talk to me, buddy. George is our media boat driver, and for those who don't know, he's a little bit of a legend himself, but likes hiding up behind the driver's wheel. What do you reckon on this start?
Well, these big guys could be after each other here.
1 minute. Oh, yes, it's a match race. Let's do that.
This is a match race. This is...
Oh, he's going for the hook. He's going for the hook.
Considering how big they are and fast they go, if they're wrong on this, it's going to take them a long time to get back. But this is pretty good, considering they're going to be right there at the start.
They are, and just on that quickly, I saw Maltese Falcon during the Super Yacht Regatta in Bermuda last year be over early, and it took her 20 minutes to get back to the start. And eventually she just went, stuff this, I'm turning on my engine. Here we go. Aurelius looking glamour. And these boats are as big as the start boat.
Yeah. That.
Oh, he's looking down the line. I've got a whole bunch of guys on the boat with me at the moment, and none of them can talk because they're all just watching these boats and loving the action. This is absolutely stunning. There's Call, and Aurelius is away. We're coming into the gun. There we go. Oh, they've had glamour starts, the both of them. You like those starts?
Very good. For boats that size, that's a good job.
That is a really good job, and oh my gosh, I think I'm in love with Aurelius, and this is the first boat that I've been in love with that isn't navy blue. I do have a bit of a thing for navy blue boats, guys. Not the royal blue, like on that Windward Most Super Yacht, though that is beautiful, and if someone wanted to give it to me, I'd happily take it.
I would make sure that you have an interview on those two boats in Bermuda.
I think I'd have to do that, George. You might have to come with me. You might get... Yeah, that's a deal. Awesome. George is going to come to Bermuda. Everybody wants to come to Bermuda. I might have to get on board those super yachts to get an interview in Bermuda. What do you reckon, guys? Give me thumbs up if you want to get on board the super yacht in Bermuda. Yeah, oh yeah, John Burnham's giving me thumbs up. Yeah. What do you reckon, Summers? Yeah, Summers is coming with me. I've got a few more cameramen that are fighting for your role, Celeste. What do you think?
No, I'll come too.
Celeste is coming too. Fantastic. That's great to see. We might go with the super yachts for a bit, or are we going to wrap it and head home? Yeah, let's go by the committee boat. We're going to give all the officers a little bit of a wave here. Look at them all. Oh, that's fantastic. Look at them all here. This is great. Maybe don't come in between us. Yeah. Awesome. Just waving the other press boat off. We're going to head into Whitehawk and get a bit of a wave from the amazing ladies and gentlemen on board the beautiful Whitehawk. Check that out, guys. They've done a fabulous job of getting 170 competitors away. One did get wrapped around the bow, poor Selkie. We did see the Russians have to go around again. But other than that, there were no casualties. Everyone's safe, everyone's happy. And this is just fantastic. The beautiful Whitehawk. Shout out to everybody from New York Yacht Club. Shout out to everyone from the Cruising Club of America. And a bigger shout out to everyone from the Royal Bermuda Yacht Club, because you're going to have to get ready for some very excited sailors and volunteers and families that are heading your way as of now. Oh, this is beautiful. Hi guys! Well done! Great job, everybody! Oh, fantastic job by everybody on board the Whitehawk. So make sure you give them all a shout out. And I think at this point in time we might get Celeste to just stay with her. Look how beautiful she is. And it doesn't look like there's any damage, guys. Can report.
Looks pretty good.
Yeah, she looks pretty good. That's absolutely fantastic. And Sal, we'll get you to spin around, and we're going to sign off now. I know a few of you have already tuned out, but my name's Nic Douglass. Thank you so much for staying with us. Summers Kemp, thank you for your Oracle expertise.
You're most welcome.
He did a fantastic job. John Burnham, high fives. We're still alive. It's great. George, so nice to meet you.
To be with you.
Yeah, thank you for coming with us.
Bermuda with you.
I know. I wish you were coming too. Maybe we'll see you next time around.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that would be fantastic. And hopefully we see you all soon over the next few days. So much content coming your way. You can also recap the start as well. And just head to BermudaRace.com. We're going to keep your palm or your phone, what do you call that thing? The mouse. See, I've been talking for too long, guys. We're going to keep you so up to date with content. You're not going to know what to do with yourself. Stay tuned for the helicopter photos. Thank you to Danielle Forster for being up there. Thanks for John Burnham for everything that he's done to organise everything so that you can see what's happening, and to Jonathan Bruin and his team from the Bermuda Race organising committee. I think we're going to sign off now, guys, because I'm starting to feel the rain. Look, we made it. Here comes the rain sideways across the screen now, so we've just managed to make it a bit of perfection for you. My name's Nic Douglass for Adventures of a Sailor Girl. 51st Newport to Bermuda Race is underway. We'll see you in Bermuda.